Hello, hello, and welcome to 8-Bit Opinions, a podcast where we talk about video games, nerd stuff, and just general shenanigans, I guess. My name is Fosman. I'm joined here by three of my best friends. We have, to my right, B-Mel, aka Stan. I want to make sure I get this right this time, boys, because there was a lot of contention last time. Below me, there is Nosferatu Cam, aka Cam. I call him Cameron. And kitty corner, we have Zidane, who I pretty much just call Zidane. Some people say Finch, but none of us do that.
No, none of you guys do that.
No, sir. Good to have you all here. So today we've got a pretty good list of topics, I would say. Our main one, I would say, or what we're gonna lead with today is gonna be battle royales. And then we're also going to have a really fun, list type thing that we're going to do where we're going to say, sorry, smirking, but we're going to say, we'll get to it when we get to that part. And then a bunch of other cool stuff. So without further ado, let's just start. And like I said, we're going to start with the battle royale genre. Now, this is something that is kind of topical right now. Apex Legends just launched a couple weeks ago, they launched their new season that included Rampart, crafting stuff, all these changes. Fortnite is doing the
What season are they on now?
Out. Oh my, you tell me, sir.
I don't even know why we brought it up.
Which season has the airplanes?
It's just funny. Well, I haven't heard you say the word Fortnite in so long.
Well, it's because I don't really play it.
I know.
Right? I mean, none of us do. My point is that there are. Well, you're right. You can't talk about the battle royale genre without bringing up Fortnite, right?
Sadly,
I wasn't ready for the topic, I guess.
And well, and like I said, Cam, the reason I said it was because a lot of these games are having topical stuff is coming out right now. They're doing patches, this and that. So BR, I guess my point with all this is BRs is a good topic to talk about right now. And I think it's something that we all have experience with, for better or for worse. And yeah, a little bit. Dude, we'll get into it. I have way too many hours played in Apex Legends for sure. And I think you guys can say the same for PUBG.
That's where I'm at.
Baby.
PUBG is where I have the most BR hours.
Dude, I used to come home from work and just get on my computer and play PUBG until I went to bed.
I don't know how we did that for so long. I know, we did it for a really long time.
It was so fun.
It was fun, but it's now going back and playing it. It feels so.
It was
slow.
Crazy.
It was just new. It was awesome.
It is kind of slow paced.
Extremely slow paced.
Comparatively.
Compared to.
But I was good at it though. That's why I liked it. Car headshots.
That's why you like any game. You're good at everything.
No.
Well, you gotta carry me. You carried me through pub.
I love
for sure.
Love pub.
Literally carried me on the back of your motorcycle doing flips over Erangel.
And Cam, I think you make a good point. Is that it is something that at one point, dude, it was by far and away the most popular genre. Everyone was Twitch streaming it, everyone was watching it, and then aside from those two things, everyone was just playing it. They were playing this new genre that had the Arma 2 mod that is PUBG that just blew up. It took over everything, and it changed a lot of stuff in gaming. But nowadays it seems like most people are not there anymore. The hype is over with. And this is at least from my perspective.
100% agree. 100% agree.
I think
do you
I
guys
agree.
think that as well, maybe?
I think the hype is over with, but I think the genre is gonna stick around. Look at Warzone. I haven't seen anything on the new Call of Duty, but I'm sure they'll have. Another BR.
It had its seat in front for 3 months, and then everyone moved on. You don't really hear about it.
Fall Guys might as well be a BR.
Are you talking about Warzone, Zidane?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about BRs in general, but
yeah, that's why I was trying to.
Because look at Fall Guys. That game inevitably is a BR. It's last man standing.
Mm-hmm.
1 out of 60. I don't know. I think Fall Guys is one of the most fun games I've played in a long time now.
I think Fall Guys is really good as a battle royale because it kind of like lessens the punishment for losing in a battle royale. Like you can survive for a few rounds in Fall Guys without like actually getting kicked for a while because like every round half of everybody gets to live.
I looked at it as more of like a party game. Is it actually a battle royale?
Last man standing. It's
Well,
mini
yeah,
games until you're the last one.
I mean, I haven't played it. I've just kind of watched you guys dabble around with it.
Right. No, it's super fun. But you said how unbrutal it was to play. Back when we played pub so much, like there was no reward for winning. You got to see the winner chicken dinner screen.
Yeah, that's all you got.
And that was it.
And maybe
that was all you got.
Didn't you get
bragging
like
rights?
Points to unlock stuff?
That wasn't even in the very beginning.
I don't remember. It's been so long ago.
Because you need to click on your Discord. Just one click.
One click?
Yep. There you go.
Just add me back. Thank you. Sorry about that.
I was like, what happened? Where'd he go?
Early PUBG was so brutal and so unrewarding. It was just rewarding to win. Like that was it. There was nothing.
That was the only game that got my blood pressure as high as it did.
You get worked up when you're the last people.
Yeah,
I think I've only won one game of PUBG, and I think I was playing it with Cam and our buddy Duke Chocula. I want to say it was like at Mill to Power, and I had the Mini, which was my favorite gun at the time, and it was me versus like the last guy, and you were both death spectating me, and that guy were in a one-on-one standoff, and I like ran up like behind him or something and shot him, or like rushed him and shot him.
I think I clipped that for you or something.
And
that is still like, I still remember that play specifically.
Making memories.
Well, and see, I think that's one thing, making memories. I think that's one thing that the genre did really well, and it was just a fun thing to. You guys say like the winning and stuff, and I agree with you, Cameron. Like a lot of battle royales, like they're not very, especially PUBG in the beginning, like they weren't very rewarding. But it was really fun to play, like just play the game with your friends more so than like other games at the time. So
right.
Like if you were to play like Siege or I don't know what's another really good example that we could give.
CS:GO?
Sure. Yeah. I was thinking maybe even something like non-shooter related. The point is like and I think Logan actually said this, mutual friend of ours, he said it really best once, is that it's kind of like it's something different every time you drop. And I think that's something that really appealed to a lot of people because it's literally like every single time. Sure, the gameplay, the guns, all that's going to be the same until a patch, but all that other stuff, like you might land on like the water tower, and a totally different fight that you've played the game for 500 hours, and a totally different fight that you've never encountered happens again. So I do think that that's another thing that people really enjoyed about the genre in itself.
Something for shooters, BRs, it's one of my favorite things. I wish was, or it's not my favorite, it would be my favorite thing. Imagine if they just kept a heat map of everywhere you've died in those games. Like, I think that'd be really cool to see. A heat map of the 1,000 or whatever hours I've played in pub. I want to see where
everywhere you've died,
I've died, and where I've died the most. Like
Pochinki
deaths,
would be just be like red dot,
just like black,
like really.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, and it just seems like at this point with like the seasons and the stuff that they've released after this, like I said, like Fortnite, and isn't it like I kind of want to stop on this for a sec. Aren't they pulling the Avengers out, and they're doing like a whole like it's like an Avengers type thing, correct?
Fortnite?
Like, yes.
Yeah, I think
to be honest, I couldn't even tell
it before.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I want to just jump in and play it one time. Like, I've been over to Logan's house, and he'll be playing it, and I'll play around, and I'm like, it would be kind of fun to just fuck off in this game and run around and try it one more time. Like, because I played a whole season of the game. I beat a battle pass.
I think I played.
Battle pass came out, and I didn't touch it.
I think you and I bought the battle pass in the game season.
I think I had 2 or 3 battle passes at one time.
Dude, I bought the K-pop dance.
I remember that. Emotes have ruined games.
Fortnite emotes have
Fortnite type
games.
emote kicks. Like, they're over the top. I like
Right, because if you like beat somebody, you wanna BM them. What better way than to dance on Fortnite dance on their corpse, man? I mean, it's cringe AF, but
dude,
it works
It's so
as a
true.
BM.
but in
It's
real
so
life,
true.
to see kids do Fortnite dances kills me inside.
I'm just like, what are
I've
you
seen it
doing, kid?
personally.
The floss,
hurts.
man, the floss.
So, and I think that actually brings me to like something I really wanted to pick your guys' brain on, and that is that I wanted to go over like kind of a couple of the different battle royales, or really all of them, because the main ones, the meat and bones, the one, yeah, the big ones, and
Realm
kind of
Royale.
see. We can do.
Get clucked,
dude. Honestly, all right. I don't want to get too off track, but like honestly, that one is kind of solid. Don't you guys think?
It is.
Sorry, I had fun when we played it.
Realm Royale. I mean, that was pretty cool.
Get clucked. That was
Get clucked,
You
man.
get mounts. You got the bird. Yo, some people, I don't know how they did it, but they would turn it, because I never like grinded the game or anything, obviously, because it's not worth it. But like they could like turn into a chicken, and they would like get in these spots like at the top of the map, and they would like be on like the roofs or like these little like inclines and stuff. Like they knew the spots of the maps. It's just like, shit. How can I get there? So some people have grinded even that game.
someone's grinded everything.
That's for
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
it's crazy that for every game someone's done something like that.
I think me and Cameron had a little talk about this the other day. It was in relation to RuneScape, but just how, you know, people grind hard a bunch of different games, and it is, personally, I think it's cool to see those people at the top. That,
Oh, RuneScape.
Yeah, we can't talk about RuneScape right now. I won't.
no,
Nope.
yeah,
Pass.
We'll be here
We'll bring
for
it
3
up
hours.
later. Yeah, pass. I'll talk about it later.
Fair enough. That's probably a good call. So let me bring it back then. I'm just gonna kind of go through the games. You guys tell me some stuff that you really kind of like, what we did with Overwatch. Just quickly, give me stuff you like, give me stuff you don't like, and then we'll go from there. So we'll just start with, since we're already kind of on it, like Fortnite. What do you guys like and dislike about Fortnite?
So I was gonna say one of the big differences between PUBG and like battle royales now is kind of the speed of the game, and I think Fortnite kind of kicked that trend off because
sure
PUBG
did.
was the popular one, and then Fortnite came in, and like all of a sudden you land and there's like brightly illuminated loot all over around you. So it's less of like a race for loot where you might find it like here or there, and sometimes it's kind of hard to see. Like I used to run over shit in PUBG all the time.
Oh, it's easy to do.
Yeah, in Fortnite, you like look for the glowing green shotgun or whatever.
Listen for that sun gun.
Yeah, you listen for the chest too. That sped it up a lot, because with Fortnite you could hop in, get into combat like pretty quickly, way faster than you ever did in pub, and then like wipe and be back to the lobby in
No,
5 minutes.
pub's immediate. You get knocked with a frying pan before you can do anything.
I liked Fortnite's aesthetic. It was visually pleasing. One thing
agreed.
I mean, it's kind of a big one. It's the main focus of the game. I hated it probably because I sucked at it.
The crafting, right?
Yeah, the building. You know, I mean,
Yes,
there was people that were like ridiculously good at it. I mean, but I could never sink that amount of time into the game to get like that.
But here's the thing, and this is like, you know, you say like those people sunk time and they're really good and whatnot, and people would kind of like hate on people for like not liking the crafting system and like, we'll just get good at the game. But like, if you want like an FPS experience, then honestly Fortnite is not really your go-to, in my opinion, because it's got all this. But you know what I mean, like gun. Yeah. I'm sorry, I meant no. You're right, Cameron. I meant like gunplay, right? Is more so what I meant than anything else.
Yeah, I
so,
just give you shit
because it's got like the crafting more so. But yeah. So
no, I totally agree with what Zidane said though. Like, I hate the building. Like, I like to try to be better than people without the building, because I mean it's hit scan, so it's really, if people are peeking, you're gonna hit them. That's what I enjoy about Fortnite though, is the gunplay. Because there's a lot of variety. Like, I can get an assault rifle and shoot at people. I can get a sniper rifle, and then I can have a shotgun. I had a lot of shit. But then you go up against someone who can build, and it's like, yeah, I want to be better than those people, but if they have the talent, I walk up to them, and then they have a 4-level skyscraper built in less than 3 seconds. Like, I don't have a chance at
Wave the
doing
white
something.
flag.
Yeah, like,
You-
oh, I'm gonna put up my one wall up, one flat wall tower, but they can still see down because they're here now. They're at 6 levels because it took me 30 seconds to build my thing. Like,
Immediately as you look at them, they have built a castle.
yeah,
Yeah,
and imagine,
essentially.
yeah, imagine feeling that. Like, if you were that good at the game and you had that huge mouse sensitivity where you could just spin and put up a wall really quick, I bet that feels awesome. Yeah, like you just memorize a
would be really
pattern and then whoop, 4 levels. Fuck you! I'm gonna shoot at you now. You're
Unless
all the way
you're
down
trying
there.
to enjoy gameplay, like gun.
But I mean,
Yeah,
another
if you're
part of
trying
that is,
hard.
like, those structures
know,
that you
like,
can build really quickly, you can shoot those out from under people, especially if it's just like the one. And I think the building like strategy evolved over time.
It did.
Like,
It definitely
used-
was like that
I
in
think
the
it used
beginning.
to be like a straight wall and then a ramp, and then like a ramp going the opposite way and then a straight wall or something like that. Or like I've also seen like 4 walls all around with the ramp in the middle.
That's what they do now, and that's why you can't shoot it out. So you got to shoot out 5 things to drop it.
Yeah.
I mean, there were meta changes to it, but I think also, like we've been saying, people just got insane at it to the point where that. But see, that's what I really like about. Actually, I'm gonna save that. But what I'm trying, my point is that, kind of like with Sighted, we're all kind of in agreement about it. Is that the like that part of the system, the crafting and whatnot, is cool, and we respect it, but it's not something that I want to play with. At least I can't speak for all.
Absolutely not. No way.
I don't want to take the time to learn it. No.
Nope. Get it out. Be gone.
All right. So next on the list would be, I mean, the granddaddy PUBG.
Don't even talk to.
At that time, you know, it was, I wouldn't say it was the first, but it was the first that got really mainstream and extremely popular. What was the one before it? It was a mod. Was it DayZ?
Minecraft.
Was it a
Are you
DayZ
talking
mod?
about? It was
I would
either
say-
it was either Arma 2 or DayZ that was that PUBG got its origin from. Correct?
Yeah, it was Arma. It was an Arma mod. No,
It was Arma. I'm pretty sure. Yes.
I don't remember.
But the real OG battle
Arma
royale
2,
is
right?
Minecraft Hunger Games.
Minecraft. I've never played that.
I'm pretty sure that was.
It's actually pretty fun.
It's PUBG is a slower game, like we said earlier, compared to today's standards. But the gunplay, like the firefights that you would get into, were phenomenal. They were,
And I think they were
up there.
unique.
They were.
How so?
I also like the special events that they started doing after Fortnite started doing theirs or whatever.
I don't remember these.
Yes, you do. You
Cam,
could be
what
a
was the-
knight or a wizard or.
Oh yeah, that was
Those
so
are
much
so-
fun.
I don't think I even did that one. I think I'm
was the
thinking of one
craziest one I
before
did.
that. What's the desert map? There was one where you drop in like a really small area, and you're all
Just
just
team deathmatch.
maybe.
That's what
And
we
there
played
was another,
together.
like 8-man something, and there was one that was
Oh, I forgot how much fun
like
those cubes
size
were.
zone, and everybody spawned in with snipers and like a ghillie suit.
Yeah,
And
that got wild.
you had to be, I guess, quote unquote, tactical in PUBG. You know, it differed, you know, so much from Fortnite. Like you had to have a plan when you were doing something. You couldn't just,
Mhm.
oh, I'm
Gunning and gunning.
gonna build 5 walls. Ha
Ha!
That's not.
And
that's
I think that's one of the big. Sorry to cut you off, Zayden, but I was
You're
just
fine.
going to say I think that's one of the main differences that people who enjoy Fortnite and people who enjoy PUBG, like I think a lot of people would say that exact statement is that there is more tactical. There's a more tactical aspect, excuse me, to PUBG for sure.
I just
What don't? Oh, go ahead, Cam. Sorry.
no. Zayden didn't say his negative.
I was saying that it was
That's what I was
slow,
thinking.
essentially. That
Oh.
it was clunky and it didn't actually really run that well. It took them forever to get it to a stable state to where you weren't like stutter jumping through shit.
I was fortunate enough to not have to ever deal with that. Really, PUBG always ran like a dream for me somehow.
Well,
So
good for you.
So
That
I
was
know none of us never had to deal. Actually, well, no, not even I did when I played on Xbox for a little bit. But none of us really had to deal with this. But did you guys ever see how much of a disaster the
launch of PUBG.
Xbox One release of PUBG was.
Nope.
Yeah, it was amazing. I remember watching.
No, I
people-
didn't.
Oh,
I am not a console gamer, so I don't know. Tell me.
I don't think any of us here are.
I mean, it was. You'd fall through the map. You'd land on the
You would-
ground. I never played it. I just watched a lot of videos, but like nothing ever loaded in.
you would fall through the map. You would sometimes, Zidane, you would jump out, you would hit the ground, and you start going. You're like, I can't move. What's going on? And then a building pops in that you have teleported into, and then you're just fucked. But like the optimization in that was like really bad, like abysmal. Like I can't even believe
They released
had
it?
to release it. Well, I think, and I also want to say, I think what happened was a Chinese company, kind of like with the mobile version of PUBG.
Yeah.
It was put forth by some Chinese company. Like Blizzard did the same thing with Diablo 3's mobile thing. Like a lot of these game companies and publishers do that, especially
don't have
for their
phones?
mobile titles. You don't have, dude. Oh man, the fall of Blizzard. We'll have to talk about that someday.
What was
Yeah.
your negative, Cam? Did you have one?
I don't think I've ever even said my positive.
Oh, what's your positive?
Everything. I don't know. I think my favorite times in pub is just like hanging out with 3 other people in a Dacia, or everybody's got their own car, just running around and then
Being stupid.
being stupid. It was the most fun game to be stupid in, and we can still even go play it. And that's one of my biggest hate is how bad I am at it now. Like going back to it, I just suck. Like I feel good to get like a kill or two whenever we played it. Not that I was getting a lot of kills, but I feel like we could hold our own in fights. Now I get in there, just done. Like I think we had a tight knit, like good teamwork going on, because
We did.
you'd get a shot and you get 280 or 170. You know, you have to like be attentive and look. And I don't know, even when I don't want to be attentive, it was still fun because then you had those stupid mess around moments. And
I
then,
think that's I'm sorry.
well, then the other great thing, like the big great thing, is the gunplay. Like Sidine said, like nothing's better than a good car headshot.
Yeah, the gunplay is really. I thought it was really unique.
Definitely the
Really
best I've played so far.
Oh, car. Spoiler alert.
Even if you didn't hit your car shots, it was so fun
shit!
trying.
spoiler alert.
What was that, Stan?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Stan. Go ahead.
I mean, even just trying to work with it, trying to understand like how your shot's gonna go, like how you need to aim it. Like, do you lead it? Do you aim up? Do you aim down? Whatever. Just like trying is kind of fun. Like I remember a couple matches, I would get a car and I'd rip through like everything I had and just whiff and whiff and whiff and keep trying just for the hell of it.
And then you start to see that progression. It's kind of satisfying, huh?
Yeah.
Cameron, I think you brought up a really good point too about it. Is like, and this goes for not just PUBG, but any battle royale. Is that when you've got your squad and you guys have been grinding and you're all just kind of like you're all just clicking, man. Like it feels really good, and you're just like you're getting high kill games. You're winning games. You're fragging out. Like that's when the game feels really good, and that's another reason I think people liked it so much. Is they got together with their friends and they just started. You get these games and you guys are just clicking. You're all firing all cylinders.
We kind of got to that point. I'd say I have literally like 5 or 6 times more hours in pub than I do Apex, and I probably have more wins in Apex. Because like me, you, and Logan would be doing really good. Like we could sit down, and I think recently, like within the last month, we've won 3 games in a row. But like in pub, if we won 3 games in a row, I'd be shitting my pants. Like I feel like I've maybe a handful of times won 2 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like
It was hard to do.
It is so much harder to win at pub.
That's interesting that you bring that up, and I actually want to ask you guys a question about this. Then, what do you think makes pub so much more hard to win than in like Apex? What do you think?
I'm impatient.
Yes.
And their games are so much longer.
They're very
Yeah, I
slow.
feel like you can push you can push in Apex and keep going and winning, but in pub I feel like if you're pushing, you're at a disadvantage. Hard.
Yeah.
Every
Extremely.
time I played pub, I feel like I was just going about my business trying to loot, and I just got dinged in the head by someone I didn't see from a mile away. That was always my biggest issue. It's like I wouldn't see it coming at all. I just get mowed down from some distant place.
Do you think that is because they actually in the new season of Apex they nerfed this, and we played it and we experienced this, Cameron, but do you think that's because the time to kill is higher in Apex and that is why you can hold W more? Do you think
100%.
that's
Yeah, it's got to be
100%.
100%. Because you can get one tap. I mean, what, a Kraber can one tap you, but in
That's it.
pub you can get one tap by like 6 guns.
Yep. And no one's got like fancy abilities. Like no character in pub can grapple out as soon as you
Get shot at.
start fighting them. No character can phase stuff like that.
Yeah,
So-
grapple out 6 times in a row. Ugh.
Dude, that still tilts me to this day. So then that brings me to that. That's a nice transition to our next one, which is Apex Legends, which, as you guys know, is my favorite by far. I'm like the poster child for this game,
I'm the
especially in
champ.
this Discord.
Yes.
Call him up. Call Shroud. He's the best. I mean, I'll tell you,
Hey.
Boz is the best.
If anybody ever watches this, go to go to Shroud's YouTube and type in playing Apex with one hand, and your boy's gonna be in the video. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
We're gonna plug Shroud.
He,
in our-
even, he even got a thank you at the end.
I did. That's true.
Aw.
Like a mic chat, thank you, or like is there text chat in Apex? I don't
Yes.
think there is.
Yeah, it'll
Yeah.
read it to you, and it's the best thing.
It'll read it to you
yeah, there's
Yeah, you can set
text
it
to
up.
speech, text to speech.
like Microsoft Sam
Yes.
in the middle.
In the middle of a match.
They used to do that all the time and say really inappropriate things.
Yep. That was the meta with it.
That is
But I
exactly
guess-
what I would do with that system.
So I'll actually start on this one since I like I said, I'm the poster child for this freaking game. I've played way too many hours in it. No, Kara, I'm not saying I'm amazing. I just put way too many hours into it. That's all.
He's good. He's good.
Stop it, dude.
Stop
such a
it,
troll.
man.
You know what? You know what? I am good, dude. I'm insane. Get fucked.
I got my 4K badge.
I wish, dude. I wish. 3K. So I would say that my favorite thing is kind of actually what we already brought up with PUB, kind of. My favorite thing about Apex Legends is you can drop and you can hold W so hard and you've got a great chance of winning. And it just makes the Battle Royale genre a lot more exciting. That is the reason that I like that game, and I think that's the reason most people who still play it and like it, that's the reason they like it more than other Battle Royales, because you can just go, dude. You can just go, you can int as hard as you want, and you can keep fighting people until you die. And the great thing about the game and the way it's set up is you've got a great chance of succeeding. Now, a big controversy this new season is that they have lowered the time to kill with armors and whatnot. Yeah, they actually did this, and to where now you can't do it as hard. But also, I mean, it's kind of a double-edged. TTK is always a double-edged sword, but like, so if I die faster, and sometimes you do feel like you combust, and I get what people are saying, but it also feels like you're fucking killing people a lot faster, right? So you can. It's easier now. It feels like to duo like 1v2 somebody because they have a weaker health pool. So if they miss some of their shots, like you're kind of set up to beat both of them. So that is what I really, really like about Apex. I still like Apex. I haven't really played it too much this season, but I'll probably end up grinding out the battle pass, to be honest. And then what I dislike the most about Apex is its optimization.
Really? I thought it ran pretty
it is
well.
that I thought we've all kind of complained about how it's not, even you, Zidane.
I know
But
it
for me,
stutters
yeah.
every once in a while.
Well, and another thing about Apex that I really don't like is the tick server, so it's really bad compared to really mostly any other game. Like you put it to the Call of Duties. There are times where I will be, and I've clipped like 20 of them. Like you're behind a wall and you take damage, or you literally just die. You straight up die because on that dude's screen, you are still like kind of peeking that.
Yep.
Whereas for you, it's not the case. And I know that is a thing with all games, but in Apex, you feel it really bad sometimes, especially when you're going up against people who are really good, who are hitting like all their shots on you. So you kind of need that buff from the server to just be really reliant and help you out because you know you're going against like really good people. So yeah, that's probably my biggest complaint. And if they fix that, dude, like, I mean that in my list it would be one of the best games ever made. But I can't, but I not the best, but like top. It'd be like in a top 10 or 20 list. I haven't like thought about it too hard, but it would be up there if they fix like that single issue, because everything else, like the heroes, the lore, the map design, the weapons, dude, the weapons in Apex Legends. I know you guys are talking about PUBG and stuff, but like the weapons, like Apex Legends is one of, I'm ranting. Apex Legends is one of the most, I'm going to say this and I'm done. Apex Legends is one of the most balanced games honestly, the most balanced, like as far as guns that I've ever played. As far as guns, it is so fucking balanced, dude. Think about it. And especially now that they've taken out the PK and the R9.
What?
I'll get to that. But like if you have a Havoc, if you drop with a Havoc, do you feel like you're fucked? No, you don't. If you drop and you grab an Eva, do you feel like you're fucked?
No, absolutely
you
not.
Now there is the P2020, but if you get hammer points, hey, you're still not fucked. So it's very, like, Respawn did a hell of a job, and they should really pat themselves on the back for what they did. And if EA would just give them $1 instead of a dime, and they could get better servers, then the game would be fantastic to me. What do you guys like? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Zayden.
I was just gonna ask about the PK. What happened to that?
I'm sad about it.
They got rid of it? How long ago was this?
This was last season. Yeah, so season 5, I think Cameron just threw up, but like
I was saying kind of. Like
kind of what?
They kind of got rid of it.
Oh, right. So what happened is it's in the care package now. It's an elite like care package weapon as opposed to being on the ground.
Okay.
Which is fine because honestly, dude, the meta for like season 1 through 4 was like if you roll up on somebody, they've got a PK.
PK and R9, man.
Yeah, exactly. PK and like any really good gun like that, because like those were and I know I just talked about gun balance and all that, but I mean you could beat somebody. If I had a scout, I could beat somebody with a PK. I could. It's gonna be kind of hard. I have to play corners and hit probably like a couple headshots, but it's still possible. Like I'm not out of it. But yeah, and then this recent season, Zidane, they took away the R9 and they put it in the care package. I've only used it once. It kind of feels overwhelming to me. It just feels like a fully modded R9 to me. But like instead of like a care package super special weapon, right?
Yeah.
But they took that, they put both those in the care package, and then they added a new SMG called the Volt. It is an energy SMG, and I like it a lot. And that just brings me back to what I was saying about Respawn before, is they do a really good job of balancing their characters and weapons and their maps to make like a really solid FPS experience. So, Stan, what do you dislike and like about Apex Legends? We'll let you rip on it for a minute.
I think one of my favorite things about Apex Legends was probably the movement mechanics and just the general speed of the game. It absolutely is a game changer to be able to like scale walls and slide down like slopes to get away from people, or to like
Paul's the only game like it.
Run up like the balloons. You can go up and like fly off wherever you want.
Yep, that was cool. Those
are pretty cool. I really liked that. And just like no fall damage too. As a really movement intensive game, it made the gunplay really interesting too. Everybody was running around all the time. High speeds. I don't know what to say I didn't like about Apex Legends. I think
skill-based matchmaking.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, that was never a huge problem for me, but I didn't play it a whole lot. I'm clueless. I don't know what to say there.
Okay.
He's neutral.
I'm
Yeah.
neutral. I like nothing stands out to me that's wrong with that game, and it's been so long since I've played it. So
Cameron.
Hello. I I really like the gunplay in that also. Like, just sometimes I want to go in there and be like, okay, well, I've really fallen away from this, but when I first started, I really like to try out all the different things. Like energy weapons are really fun, but I mean, getting a prowler and a hemlock, like pretty similar weapons, but when I get that combo, I just love fighting people with that. Like, and then sometimes I want to switch it up to a sniper. I don't know. Gunplay is really good. Just the whole game feels good. Like, so whenever you said it wasn't optimized well, I always really enjoyed it because like it was one of the maybe optimized like how it runs on your system. Maybe the network and engine sucked, but like it run high frames on my computer, so I could take advantage of like my monitor. And I always really liked it because it felt really, really smooth when you were shooting people. Also, so it's something I still really enjoy when we play it. And something I don't like, I don't know right now either. Like, it's just an all-around pretty good game. Like, I like rushing and pushing. I guess
Hold
I don't
W,
know.
man.
Maybe I feel like
Oh, aggro.
you and
Just
Logan
like-
don't mess around enough, so I haven't really had time to goof off. That's what I don't like. I play with too serious of gamers.
Yeah, Cam just likes to fuck off the whole time.
I
Hey,
guess I just yeah.
you want to. You're good at it, and but it makes me go play and get better at it too. So I mean, it's fun. But I don't know. Okay. Something I don't like is I really don't like in pub. If you would 1v4, I feel like you could have a chance because you could. It's that
True.
time to kill. We're going back to time to kill. If you you didn't have to be that great, if you were just lucky enough that you could just line up headshots or I don't know, I never really like assault rifles in that game, but just get going, kill some people, you could do it. I feel like if I'm 1v2, maybe not with the new update or whatever you were saying, but like I don't think I was ever good enough, but I felt like I was pretty all right at the game to just 1v2 people. Like they'd always have me unless I had like a mastiff, like the old mastiff.
Yeah.
Then I could X gonna give it to you, but
I love that video.
It's so good.
so time to kill is probably my issue with that. But I don't hate a long time to kill. Maybe I do in a VR, but
Yeah, and that's been kind of I would say that has been a debate in that game for a little bit now, because it really does have the highest time to kill. So if you're playing trios, right, and let's say I go in instant feed like I always do, and you're playing with me, and so I've inted as Wraith as my TTV Wraith self, and
he's got the knife.
Logan, I do have the knife. Logan dies, and you're alone, right, Cameron? And there's like 3 guys. Well, that's pretty fucking overwhelming in a game like Apex Legends. That's what you're saying, huh?
Yeah,
100%.
like, well, I'm fucked.
Pretty much, yeah. Unless you're just like Asus, unless you're just insane like Shroud or something. Then yeah. So no, those are some really good points, guys. I definitely like agree with those. But I feel like that's kind of what they're trying to mitigate with this new patch. One thing I will say, and then I'm gonna bring it to you, Zaide,
No problem.
is that one thing that really, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, and this is not just in Apex Legends, this is literally any video game ever, especially like mostly competitive shooter type games, but this doesn't just fall under the category of Apex. So when the game launched, and in the seasons that followed, Respawn really dumbed down on the niche mechanics. This is something I dislike about the game. So they dumbed down on the niche mechanics like bunny hopping, zip lines. They've nerfed zip lines, movement kind of in general, and then really powerful characters. So like Pathfinder got a huge nerf. Wraith has been nerfed to hell because she's so good. Rest in peace. And my point with this is that Respawn really nerfs stuff and makes it harder for those characters and situations because they're trying to make it more noob friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And I just fundamentally I do not agree with that statement because you're nerfing the game, you're making the game less fun to make it more appealing to people who do not care about your game as much as your hardcore people. And I think that's fun. And that's not just for Apex. That's literally any game you can.
I was gonna say, any game.
Yeah. But it bums me out when they do that. I think that they should keep these I think if some dude wants to bunny hop heal all over me and make me miss all my shots and look like an idiot, if he can do that and pull that off, there's nothing wrong with that to me.
If he can build the tower, he can kill me, and that's okay.
Back to Fortnite.
I know.
Yeah.
My big thing that I really like about Apex is the movement. So like say you're pushing into, I don't even remember any of the places anymore, but you're pushing into an area with like 3 or 4 houses, and we hear shots off to the right, and we call it. We're there in seconds, and we're kicking down the fucking door, being like,
Literally.
"Fucking FBI, let me in," and just blow everything up.
I open up.
And
I agree.
that is when it's like, that is when that game is really, really fun to me.
And you could really mess with people with that movement mechanic too.
You can.
If I, dude,
Break some dude's
so many
ankles,
times
man.
I would lose a fight to someone who like crawled up on a roof, went to the other side of the building, like crawled under the building, came back under and got behind me or something stupid.
Something crazy.
And let's see, something that I dislike. See, this is a hard game to pick something that you would really dislike.
I'm really interested that you guys all kind of feel the same about that. Like you have like it's kind of hard to pick something to dislike about this game.
Because there's
I'm
nothing major that sticks out.
Yeah.
There's no
Okay.
glaring issues. I mean,
I
there's,
I think
I
the
can
like,
probably-
dinosaur things they added looked like absolutely retarded.
what was this?
Those fucking like dinosaur things that they added, whatever they were,
Oh, that
They-
walking out in the water?
it looked like something you'd make in Spore.
If you can believe it,
They're sitting
Stan.
right in the map.
They could
if
step
you
on
can-
you.
They
if
could
you can
step on you
believe
and
it or
kill you.
not, if you can believe it or not, they actually used to have less polygons than they do now.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So they're high def now, or
No, they used to be. I'm saying they looked even worse before. Is what I'm
Yeah.
trying to tell you. Yeah.
didn't I think? Because I think they used to be out in like the background, didn't they?
Yeah.
Weren't they in the backdrop?
Like in the water somewhere.
Yeah,
Just stomping around being dumb.
and then so the lava map was like an addition to the map, or like the lava areas that came out like a later season, right?
Yeah, they kind of did like the Fortnite thing with the map. They added to it.
Yeah.
So
So I think the dinosaurs were before that.
They were.
correct.
Still stupid though.
Well, there's my issue with the game.
We all hate the dinosaurs.
Dumb
dude.
giant dinosaurs.
Okay, so
Respawn, get the dinosaurs out of here. Fuck them.
while we're on the
Okay.
hate
Fuck
train,
'em.
I guess one more thing that I'm not absolutely excited about is that Mirage like space yacht.
Oh yeah, I hated
They
that.
couldn't hear shit.
Like
No,
you
it was just
have no idea what's
stupid.
going on there. and there's,
Boys.
like, copies of him running around all the place.
boys, that's the streamer spot. That's where all the streamers go. Get their high kill games, boys. Come on now.
Nope.
That's where you go if you want to tussle immediately.
I want to
It's
tussle.
ending
Well,
Gunships
hey,
was actually
hey.
fun.
You'll
Like-
all be happy to know Logan was not happy about this, neither was I, but they removed it in this patch, so
Good.
it's gone.
Yeah, get this shit out of here.
Get out of here.
Now all they need to do is get rid of the dinosaurs, and we've got a perfect game.
Yep.
Dude, so let's say they have another event where they
New
like
server,
they try
new
to do
dinosaurs.
that, but in the theme of another character. How would they do that? What character could you even implement something like that on? Like if
How do
every
you-
character
how do
got
you
to
mean?
bring something.
We're
So
gonna have a
let's say, like-
bloodhound just rave. Like
Yeah, what if
Goth raid.
Bloodhound brought? I don't know. What would he bring? Like an old.
I think
boat?
we'd have an
Yeah.
edgy, I think we'd have an edgy Wraith like cutting party, right? Or something
Exactly.
like that.
Yeah.
Like, what if every character in Apex Legends got a slip to bring like one ridiculous thing, and like Mirage brought like a floating yacht? What would the other characters bring?
I mean, just off the top of my head, I feel like
Rage
just
is
feel
the
like-
edgelord.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, Bloodhound's
Wraith-
gonna bring like a carcass of some kind.
like a hunt
Yeah.
type thing. Yeah, maybe like a proving. Well, they actually added a proving grounds for Bloodhound, so that answers that. They got that already in there.
What was that
Lifeline.
character I made? Lifeline.
She
bring
would
Gonna bring her drums.
Last
I
one
think-
down and a boom boom.
and a boom boom, dude. People meme on
Dude,
that.
she'd have a fucking She'd have a fucking party truck. That's what she'd have.
With
You know
big
what
subs
I
on
think
it.
would be
No, like a pickup truck with like a trailer in the back, like a float trailer.
Yep.
hell yeah, dude. You know what I think would be actually cool for Lifeline, because they actually haven't added something for her stand. I think something cool would be, because she is like a medic, lore wise, she is a caretaker type character.
Mhm.
Although she can dish it out as well, but like I think like adding like a hospital zone would be kind of cool, like a hospital for Lifeline. That's just,
Ooh, or
I've seen that like on Reddit and stuff. Like I think
Concepts.
that'd be cool.
so what about like a medic ship? Because like
Well, we already got the ship though with my boy Mirage, so we don't want to do
we
that.
could do. I mean, that doesn't mean she can have a ship.
How many types of vehicles we got here, boys?
Yeah,
Only one
there's
ship per game.
dinosaur, boat,
Party,
Party truck. Party dinosaur.
Sounds like
What
a
was
horrible
the
idea.
next
I would've
VR
read
that you
my
wanted to
party
talk about?
dinosaur.
I think
Yeah,
Cam's ready to move on.
I'm over Apex.
No, I know, and I kind of ranted on it, but then surprisingly, you guys kind of went on farther than I would have expected. And like I said about the whole not liking it.
One
like,
last thing, I guess, to dislike to finish off the hate train is just the servers.
100% agreed. That
That's-
that to me,
They
that
also
to
really
me,
fast the dinosaurs in the cages. Just any kind of
Stop it.
dinosaur we can do without.
what is Stan's got this hate mode.
No
on
unnecessary,
I guess.
no unnecessary creatures. Like I don't.
All right,
They don't
so
belong here.
all right, so that's it with Apex. I completely agree though. Fix the servers. That'd be the best thing for the game. So, anyways, let's go to Warzone. What, Cameron? What do you kind of like and dislike about Warzone? I can hear you guys. I'll be right back.
I dislike the currency thing and buying
Really?
people in.
I thought that was
I
kind of
could
cool.
Totally live without it. The thing I mean, I like that it gave you the option to do loadouts. It grew on me. I originally did not like that because of a battle royale. Like I
Okay.
think that you'd have to find your weapons, but they progressively made it more expensive.
They
so,
did.
Like,
Yep.
that
Mhm.
kind of made it nice, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know what I liked. I didn't really enjoy the whole thing altogether. Like, I played it a little bit because my friends would be playing it, so I just play with them. Like, I don't know. It was fun when it first came out to try a new VR, but I bought the game so I didn't have to play the free thing.
Yeah.
So I could play the multiplayer, and the multiplayer was just more fun.
Like
That it was
like
classic Call of Duty.
deathmatch or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Okay.
domination deathmatch. I thought that was so much more fun in a Call of Duty game. But it's going back to time to kill. I hate, and it started in the first Call of Duty battle royale that they made. Like I hated the time to kill in that. And as soon as you get hit, I'm gonna start putting my shields back in, and then now my health just keeps going up. So everybody typically has full shields, so it's like I don't know if there is a gun you can just one shot headshot somebody. Because I think if you're at full shields, you don't die, like even from that 50 cal. But I totally could be wrong.
I was gonna say I don't know. I haven't put enough time into it. I would
Me
not
neither.
be able to answer that.
That's one of those games. It's like you can't just go rip off and like in multiplayer, you walk into a room and kill 4 people. But in that, if 3 people run at you with full shields, you're done.
100% dead.
Unless you're gonna like C4 and get lucky and get 2 of them and shoot the other or something along the lines of that. I don't know. I'm trying to.
You're good.
I don't know what was fun about it. It was just kind of fun. It was just
it was kind
alright.
of stale, honestly. It
I
was
like
just-
fucking off in helicopters. That was cool. I hadn't played a battle royale with a helicopter before.
Weren't
You
there
guys think
like
it came
vehicle
too
mounted
late?
turrets?
Maybe.
I think it came too late into the race. for
But again,
sure.
I don't think it's too late because now I think it's just a common occurrence. Fall Guys recently came.
Yeah.
But that's
I
like,
do-
that's
I
like
do
a
feel like
different
that's kinda
take on it,
different.
though. That's not.
Yeah.
That's true. It's freshening it up, but
It's fresh.
I'd still play a BR if I don't know. I'd still think BRs are cool to be included in games. It's just not something I'm gonna focus on primarily.
It should not be a standalone thing anymore.
Really? So
Yes.
you don't think, Zidane, you
Mm.
don't think that it should be its own thing like at all? You think it should always be in addition to
Correct.
the game?
100%.
Okay. Why do you think that?
Because I feel like the genre we've talked about a little bit has run its course. I mean, we're going on 7, 8 years. I mean, when did PUBG come out?
Oh, not 8 years ago.
I don't
Was it
know,
I think
six,
five,
six,
like, 4
7.
Did you
5,
say
6.
9?
No,
Oh yeah, it's like
I,
no.
I,
I'd
I
say
don't know.
5,
I'm
6.
guessing.
Say
I thought it was
14,
4. I thought it was 14.
I definitely wasn't in high school when it came out.
But
Okay.
like gaming trends don't last that
Cameron,
long.
you're right. 2016.
I mean, so a year before that, it was in beta where you could still play. So it's 15. We're at 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Gaming trends only last for so long. You know, before battle royales, it was the really big thing was MOBAs. Everything was coming out with a League of Legends clone.
Maybe in your world, I really only got into the PC
League.
world whenever.
Heroes of the Storm,
Like, there's so many of them.
Dota, and then all the little like
LOL?
All the little ones that ended up
Well,
failing.
League.
that was like the main thing that I was.
Like Battleborn, like came out for the PS4. I don't remember if you remember that game. Like,
I think
it
that
was-
was supposed to be like a.
I would say that was more so an Overwatch TF2
Yeah,
type game.
exactly.
it was still a MOBA though because it had minions in it that you had to like get to the other side and destroy their whatever.
Fortnite towers.
Yeah, essentially, sure. But the genre has run its course. They're not coming up with enough fresh content for it, so it's just rinse and repeat.
No, it's not. Fall Guys.
My,
Play Fall Guys. I'll
mine-
buy Fall Guys if you play with
I
me this
feel like-
weekend.
mine is Fall Guys.
Well, I feel like Fall Guys kind of plays into exactly what you're saying. Like, it can't just be a battle royale at its own. It's also got to be like Mario Party, whatever.
Like mine is Fall Guys. It's all rinse
I
and
agree,
repeat. Like,
Yeah.
it's just been the same thing over and over again. Maybe they add building, you know, whatever. They add one little niche thing that makes them so much different that everybody has to rush out to. I guess not even rush out because
Like a-
half
like
the
a
time they're for
Kickstarter?
free now. And
Yeah.
they go download it and play it for 3 months. I'm like, well, fuck. Now I'm bored. I
Well-
want another BR.
You know, that's one thing that I kind of thought about saying earlier, but it hasn't been. There's been no opportunity to bring it up to now. But I feel like battle royales kind of brought the freemium game model to the PC, whereas before that did not exist. In any context that I know there was like the trading cards and like skins and other games and shit, but like free to play, basically AAA titles that make all their money off monetization.
What's
Now,
your
like-
opinion on that, Stan? That
I mean,
that model.
I don't.
Awful.
So here's the thing, and this is just kind of how I feel about like this is in general how I feel about all software in the world, including video games and other things, moving to like an as a service model. It does take time and effort, especially effort over an extended amount of time to keep a game active, especially something like Apex Legends or Fortnite or whatever, where you're doing all these seasons and you have to release new
Fat kitty.
like you have to release new content every couple months to be relevant. You have to like nerf guns and balance things over time to make the gameplay fun. In situations like that, I think having like the kind of freemium pay as you go model is pretty appropriate, honestly.
So Stan, do you think like it's really, because my understanding of what you're saying is you kind of feel like that need to, like, for Apex Legends to release a season every 3.5, 4 months.
Yeah.
You kind of make it sound like that's really putting them out. Is that like, do you think that, and that's why they should be able to have this freemium model, is because it is
So-
putting them out? Because I kind of disagree
Say
with that.
putting them out. But what do you mean by putting them out? I don't understand.
By putting them out, I mean, I think that you feel like they are really, they're kind of struggling to like make something new all the time, and it is a service, and it's kind of like it's straining the publishers, but more so the developers, and they need like this monetization to help them. I think that they would be. I can't say this for certain. I could be wrong, but I feel like they would be financially okay if they released like Apex Legends as a $60 game and then release seasons on seasons. And then if they still monetize those, like say they didn't have any microtransactions, you could earn stuff really fast, and then you just paid like $10 every 4 months for a season pass. I mean, that would be enough money for them. Like that wouldn't like ruin the like Respawn would still be have the money and the funds to like make another game. So that's kind of what I'm getting at. But it's so tricky with the monetization and all these different companies and how to do it that I mean, honestly, I can't say for certain if it's even like a good idea what I just said. So.
I mean, I think the truth to that is in actually running the numbers. I feel like it could be really different from situation to situation, but
something we don't know right now.
One retort to what you said. Blizzard apparently isn't making enough money off WoW that it was okay to release it as like a $60 game once. I still pay $30 a month for it.
15.
And that's in whatever it is. I don't know. I just let
I
it
so
take my money.
Yeah, just take my money. Let me. Jeff,
so what do you mean by that then, Stan? What do you mean with like Blizzard? You're saying like.
Well, like they're doing the subscription model for World of Warcraft, and I just think that's another example of where it's kind of okay because like World of Warcraft has been like a game as a service for 15 years now, and it's like they expand on it and they kind of remont. So don't you have to buy each expansion that comes out?
You do.
So they remonetize it every game, and they like either make you. Didn't there, like, wasn't there a thing called WoW Minutes or whatever? Like, people could buy you WoW Minutes on, like, a fucking, like, checkout aisle gift card.
Oh, yeah, you could buy game time as a card, but that's still even a thing with, like, Xbox Live and stuff. Same concept.
Well, I wasn't sure. Was it, like, in minutes? Like an old school phone plan? Or
no, it was still the game time, like 30 days.
Okay, so, yeah. I just think that's another example where it kind of works and kind of makes sense, and by removing the actual subscription cost and just subsidizing it with freemium bullshit, it's like we all do it. We all consented to that purchase eventually.
Yeah,
we bought the battle pass. I bought a girly dance.
Yep.
Oh,
outfits.
There's been many a times I have been drunk and said just been stupid and bought a Fortnite battle pass. I've played one and I've probably bought 4. So
I'm the same way though. I'm the same way. It does work.
I just whenever this guy spends money, I end up spending money.
Me and Sam base a lot of our financial decisions off of each other. He
I don't know. I don't know if that's wise. I don't know if you should do that.
Probably not.
We just bought guns together.
We got some guns.
Zidane, is there anything else? Like, do you have anything else to add on? Like, I guess we've kind of diverted a little bit here, but like the freemium model for like battle royales and all this other stuff. Like, is that? I mean, is it something? I can tell that you don't like it.
I hate it. I understand it takes time and money to do this, kind of what Stan was saying, but I just want a game that I can buy for X amount of money, sit down and play, and then be like, all right, I'm going to move on to the next one. I don't want them to fucking suck me dry, like, with the subscription bullshit.
Nobody asked for a battle pass. Like, no one asked for that. That's just something that they implemented, and that's something that you kind of said, Stan. Like, nobody, like Zidane didn't ask for that, right? He just wanted a game. Same with me, like, same with all of us. Like, I think that's a big thing that people kind of maybe gloss over with this whole thing, is that these companies implement that, but then it's like...
Hearing you guys say that makes me think of something. So, like, in consideration of that, with what I said earlier, it's almost like the game as a subscription model is the solution to a problem that we would not have without the game as a service model.
How do you mean?
I say Respawn is justified in kind of freemiuming their game because they need, like, they're going to like release new content over time and do maintenance on it over time.
Yeah.
But like, who asked them to do that?
No one.
Who asked them to start releasing these seasons of content and to like rebalance the gunplay every couple months or whatever? I don't think it's actually been that.
But they do.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say they do that though to refresh in the game and to bring people back into their lobbies.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same as the rest of the as a service model. They're doing it to hook you and get you on a recurring payment.
I can tell you
Kiss
guys
my ass.
exactly,
Not recurring
exactly-
payment, but like they're trying to get you and on
Ooh.
your cosmetic purchases.
I can tell you guys exactly who told Respawn to do that model. It was EA because they're trying to make the money, man. And I don't, like I said, they're a business, so like I don't 100% blame them for that. But like we've all made a good point here is that it's not something you ask for. If Zidane wants to go and buy a game and just buy a game and play a game and not have all this extra stuff added to it, just give me a game, I'll play it. You know, Ghost of Tsushima, just give me a game, I'll play it. I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna play it, I'm gonna enjoy it. That's just kind of taken away with some of these games that are added these days, and there's not really a choice. It's not something anyone asked for. It's just kind of the way it is now. So
I recently did that with Horizon Zero Dawn. I was like, I'm gonna buy this game. I'm gonna play it. I beat it in 3 days. I'm moving on. I don't need to play it for 3 years.
Yeah, I miss games like that too. And I think the most recent, really captivating single player like experience game that I actually played was probably most Wolfenstein, like in the middle.
A New Order.
Yeah, new.
That game was pretty cringe, not gonna
Well,
lie.
wait, which one is New Order? Because there's one that's like fight
Who
or
is the
escape
boss? Do you
Nazi
remember?
Germany. I mean, spoiler alert for whichever Wolfenstein I played, but the last one was like
Stan.
Did we lose Stan?
I think we lost Stan.
Wolfenstein killed Stan.
oh no,
Stan,
oh
We're
no,
having technical difficulties.
speak to me, Stan.
I'm here.
Okay,
There we go.
he's back.
Am I back?
Yeah,
think so.
Where did I get cut off?
What
Spoiler alert.
Wolfenstein did you play?
Oh yeah, I was saying spoiler alert, but whatever Wolfenstein I'm talking about, because I played the first one and the second one, and I think there's a third one that I haven't played yet. I think.
I think there's a
But-
lot of Wolfensteins.
Well, I
yeah.
mean, like the recent AAA
Wolfenstein.
titles.
Wolfenstein.
Oof.
Wait, side note, do you guys say wolf or wolf?
Wolf?
Wolf.
Wolf.
Like with an L, right?
Yeah,
Wolfenstein.
there's
Definitely an L there.
Yeah.
No.
I
But
mean,
have you ever met someone who says woof? As
Oh,
in
yeah.
they're talking about a wolf, but they literally say woof?
You ever have one of them named wolves out there?
What?
Yes.
You want that wolf out there?
you guys are making me self-conscious because now I feel like I say that.
You say wolf?
We were talking about you, Stan.
That's a wolf.
Stop.
That's a big oof.
Yeah, that's a big oof, is what that is. Cameron, I wanted to ask you real quick before we move on. We're about done here with the VR genre, obviously, but like, do you have anything that you wanted to say about the like freemium model, like just like anything like that?
I mean, if you're gonna pay, I think freemium, well, not free. I don't know how to put it. Monetization in games sucks already. One,
Sure does.
but like if I buy a single player game, like I don't want to see any payments in there. Like I never
Yes,
played
sir.
that. I never played that new Shadow of War or Shadow of War.
Oh.
It is. Like that sounds absurd.
It is, dude.
And same with Assassin's Creed. Like that's insane to me. Like if I'd just not play a game because of that.
So fill
But,
me in on
like,
this.
yeah,
What
what's
ab-
happening? What they
There's,
trying to
like-
do?
You can buy in-game currency, or you can buy like in-game boosts
Wow.
or something like that.
Can you
for
imagine
money.
paying to win a single player game alone?
Like
Morrowind.
you're so bad, you need to pay to win a single
Well,
player game.
I think
Like,
it is
what
pay to
happened-
win, but
How
What
are you going to
happens
get
is
any
they make
return
it
on that? Are you
super
going to treat your
grindy,
mom?
Zidane. They make it super grindy so that you pay that money. But I'm sorry, Cameron, go ahead.
no, I'm glad you said that because that's why it's there. I think because the reviews I've read is like if you don't spend the money, you're going to spend a lot more time in the game. So I guess if
Yes,
you
sir.
enjoy the game, it doesn't matter. But regardless, imagine playing the old good Fallout's and they're like, well, they fucking monetize
paywall.
Fallout 4. Never mind.
But imagine
Pay
like,
for mods.
dude. Imagine if Obsidian put in like I know that mod thing with Bethesda, that was so fucked. But
And then 76, yeah. No, if you had to pay for anything in New Vegas, like I couldn't imagine. So now going back, like
Yeah,
if
fuck
I
that.
go play New Vegas or like I love going back and playing Oblivion. Those are relatively older games.
sir.
Like they're more than 10 years. Like imagine 10 years from now, someone who really enjoyed Shadow of War go back in and like their servers are dead because who's going to be accepting money
Right.
from that? There should be some fucked up thing in there, and you're gonna be like, what is this? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. Well, it could make more sense. It could be like, oh, I remember whatever, it used to be only that monetized, huh?
Remember, and that's actually like
That's
a
a
really
good point.
Yeah, like I've never even thought about that before. What do you think about that, Zaydane? Like that's a really good point.
I don't have
He doesn't
anything
wanna
on it.
know. He's the oldest, wisest gamer here. He just doesn't even know.
I don't even know. Like,
It doesn't even compute to Zaydane.
no, it
Yeah.
doesn't.
What do you
Like,
mean?
thinking like this. I don't know, man. It just goes back to the whole. I don't want to play a game for 500 hours. I want to play it for 8 to 10 and then move on.
I'm gonna slap in my cartridge, pay to do something on that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. It doesn't. It doesn't
So-
compute. It does not compute.
It wasn't a
It's,
thing. They just made a game. You bought the game. You played it. You moved on.
That is an absolutely awesome point because I mean, and I keep coming back to the general as a service model of everything. Like the days of owning your software or owning your anything tech products are over. Everybody wants to go to this subscription nonsense where they want to manage it for you. Even gaming, like intentionally or not, everybody is trying to take their application, their workload, their whatever they do that takes electricity into the cloud and sell it as a subscription service.
Yep.
Even like Google Stadia, who else has these
Cisco.
gaming
I
services?
mean, even
coming out?
Cisco has
Google,
it. Dan.
Google Stadia with their negative latency.
Negative
So-
latency.
They claimed like better than wired latency or something.
How is that possible?
They made some ridiculous latency claim that was hilarious.
I wanted to circle back real quick to something that you said, Zaydane. So what is your opinion? Because you said I want a game, I want a good single player game, like 8 to 10 hours, 12, whatever. I want to play it, and no microtransactions. And then I'm done, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is your opinion on a game like these games are a little different, so you got to kind of figure out the differences in them. But like, what is your opinion on a game like God of War? Or, I mean, even Horizon Zero Dawn, a game you just played that is kind of quote unquote bloated with a lot of single player stuff, but it's still like not monetized and like a really good game.
Mhm.
Like, can you hang with those? Or like, what's your opinion on like
What-
God of War that is literally like a 25-hour? If you want to do like everything,
Mhm.
even kind of, then God of War is like a 25-hour experience. So
That's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Horizon was kind of bloated, and I skipped by a lot of stuff because I was just so interested in the story that I wanted to finish it and see it through. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I miss I feel like I don't play. I still play a lot of video games, but I don't play as much as I used to when I was like a kid, like in high school and junior high and whatnot. I miss launching. Like, I keep going back to Oblivion, but there's so much stuff to do, and I wanted to do it. And then like when Skyrim came out, that's when I was really into games. I'd say I didn't comprehend Oblivion enough when I first played it. I had to go back because I was like 12 or something. But then playing Skyrim and understanding like, oh, I'm gonna get all the achievements, like I'm gonna do all that. Like that was so cool, and I wanted to sink that time into it. Like now I can hardly sit down and freaking finish a game, and it pisses me off.
Is that because we're older?
I don't think so.
that's a good question, Zaydane. Is that because we're older, or is that because the gaming industry has changed, or is it both? Maybe. I mean, like, because it's something that I've considered before, and I don't even know if I have an answer for you guys. So I'm curious what you think.
I don't think it's because we're older. I just went back and I've beaten Dark Souls like 3
I
times
mean,
this year.
it's not like any of us have a shortage of time to play games.
That's exactly what I'm getting at. Like, I don't know. It's just something
We
about
do it
games
all the
aren't as
time.
fun. Like the newer games aren't as fun. Like that sounds stupid, but
Back
my
in
music's
my
the best
day.
music. Yeah.
Waves the cane. I agree though, Cameron. Like honestly, 100%. And I think, like I said, that thing about like the servers and single player games, like if someone who really enjoyed Shadow of War goes back and plays that was such a good point, and that's crazy to me because if we all go back and play Oblivion right now, Morrowind, whatever, Skyrim even, well, actually in Skyrim it is a little bit, but if we go back and play Oblivion, we don't have that problem. Whereas that will actually be like a thing in the future, and I'm curious to see like kind of how that
How that
What do you-
works.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, are we've been on BRs for a minute, and we've got a couple more topics that I really want to get to. So, are we good?
Good.
I'm good.
We're good.
All right, good.
We're
So-
good. We're good.
We're good. So, the next topic is a little more fun. It's a little less of us waving our canes around, and it's
I already said it.
yeah. Cameron had kind of spoiled it a little bit, though it's probably not that apparent. We're gonna talk about favorite weapon in a video game. Now, I wanted to be clear with you guys. This can be any type of game. It's not FPS related. It's not RPG related. This is any game. Your favorite or one of your favorite, but your favorite weapon that you really like. Maybe it's because of its power. Maybe it's because of its look. Iconic, whatever the reason, it doesn't matter. The rules are not stringent in this. But something that is like your favorite weapon, something that you really enjoy in a game. I think I want to let Cameron go first because I think he's got a pretty good idea of what he wants to talk about.
Well, I was going to say, I want to kind of go around the table. Everyone kind of just says one because I can't definitively say, well, this is my number one best. And I don't think any of us should. I'm just saying these are three guns that really come to mind.
Oh, are we going? Are we going 3?
I thought so.
We do a few.
I thought it was.
I
gonna
kind of
be-
have a tangent
thought it-
on this that
I thought it was going to be 1, but if you guys
Oh.
want to do 3, we can do that.
Well, I definitely got at least one.
Well, I can't do just one. That's the thing. Like,
I can.
because there's a variety of them.
Well,
So-
then, all right. So why don't we do
Let me
3?
just-
Sorry, Stan. Why don't we do 3, and maybe Cameron, you start us off. Maybe say the 3 that you've thought of.
And then something's going to come to mind.
Yeah.
I've only really thought of 2, hoping we were going to go around the table, but that's fine. So, obviously, the car from Pub it's a new game. Some people say a busted game, but that gun is so fun to use. Like,
Why?
one-shot headshots.
So satisfying.
So satisfying. Like, I don't know. I thought, man, I'll make a YouTube video and be so cool and make one-shot headshot videos, but then everybody's better than me. There's always people that are more nuts than you, so not worth it. So
Qui-Gon said there's always a bigger fish. Sorry,
exactly.
Go ahead.
So I don't know. Car headshots are so much fun. I love it. It's just like I could almost yell, "Oh, I got one!" And then it's a game changer. 4-on-4, you get the first shot and get a one-shot headshot. 3-on-4, they just don't even know where you're at yet because they got to figure out the sound direction.
It just shoots dopamine right to the brain.
It does. It's like, yeah, exactly. Next thing, because we've talked about Pub way too much, and we've talked about this game a little bit too, and
That's
I feel
all right.
like you're gonna go, oh yeah, I really like that. To this, I always thought, because I had to pick like a sword or something, and I always thought Umbra is so cool for
Yeah.
Oblivion.
Dude, let's go.
Like, you find it in a cave, and you can go get it whenever if you're strong enough to kill her. Like the
Oh, good luck with that.
Yeah, the sword the person who wields the sword becomes Umbra, correct? Like,
Yes, correct.
yeah, I mean that's just such a cool sword 'cause it's just black and it captures your soul, and it always it was through the games. It wasn't in Skyrim, which is dumb.
Hey, Cameron,
It
do you
better
know
be
that-
in 6.
So I'm so glad you brought that one up because I remember, dude, when we used to play like Xbox 360, we would like in like Xbox Party, we would talk about that weapon and just how good it was, how OP it was, and just kind of like strats on how to get it and whatnot. But one thing I wanted to say about it is that, so you guys know that silly meme that is, it's Donald Trump and it's like, this is the worst trade deal. I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know if you remember this part, Cameron, because I always just fucking kept this. You probably did too. But I saw this
Oh, I
on
know you're gonna-
r/Oblivion. So actually, one of the Daedric quests from Claviticus Vile is to get the weapon
And
give
it to him.
and give it to him, and what you get in return is a cloth low armor like speechcraft mask basically, and it doesn't even look that cool. And it was basically the text from the quest that said you traded the Umbra sword for Claviticus Vile's mask, and then it was Donald Trump.
That's awesome.
This is the worst trade deal out of any trade
That's
deal.
hilarious. I think the play though, now that you said that, was to get the quest, then get Umbra, and
shit.
then never turn the quest in because I think it didn't weigh anything if it was a quest item or something like that.
Dude, I
Interesting.
think you're right. I think that was the meta because then like quest items wouldn't weigh anything. So you'd grab the quest, you'd go kill her, and then you just
Never turn
like
the quest in.
Leviticus Vile just fuck off. The other interesting thing about that, and it's kind of been debated from like Oblivion fans, is that Leviticus Vile is one of the Daedric lords in Oblivion that is kind of a swindler. He's kind of he's a liar, he's a cheat, right? So people debate that like that's kind of the way it's intended, is that he gives you give him the best sword in the game, and he gives you a crappy mask, and that's just based on the character, which I think is really cool.
That's
the
actually
case.
funny.
Mm-hmm. That is really cool.
And
Have
then
you guys ever? So
Cameron, if we, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Sid.
just weird tangent. Have you guys ever read any of the Elder Scrolls books?
Oh, like
No, sir.
Like, what are you talking about? Like are there actual Elder Scrolls novels?
Yeah. So
Really?
I've read two, and they were like a novel and a sequel. So the one I read is called The Infernal City, an Elder Scrolls novel, and it's like an officially sponsored, copyrighted release. It's about like basically like Tamriel's in mortal danger. You go from like Cyrodiil to like some weird place out in like Black Marsh, and you meet a whole bunch of Argonians. Then you go to like this weird flying island place in another dimension. It was a wild ride. It was super Elder Scrollsy. So if you liked Elder Scrolls, so like when I played Skyrim, I walked around. I probably read the Lusty Argonian Maid like 8 times over because I loved reading shit because I loved hearing about like. I mean, I didn't always have time for it. You're a fucking you're wuss if you didn't read that.
You pervert.
Dude, if you
like
didn't spank it to the Lusty Argonian Maid,
I can for one say I did not.
What?
What?
Zidane, you normie?
I guess.
The Argonians?
No,
Wow.
I think the lore behind all that's really cool, and I especially like how they like. So they keep everything within the same universe, but they jump like a couple hundred years or whatever every now and again. Like, hey, it's
Yeah, 'cause it's not really in the timeline
like
of the games.
yeah, it's like 1300 years later or something. All
Do
that
you
happened.
remember what province it was in, Stan?
The Infernal
book?
City.
Yes.
So one of the characters was from Black Marsh.
Okay. But
And
where
then-
did it like take place? In Black Marsh or what?
Part of it took place in Black Marsh, but the thing was, so the Infernal City is like a floating city that I think just like materialized in the air above Tamriel or something. So
Okay.
like it was there, and something about it being there was going to destroy the whole universe or something. So like I don't know, some teenage Argonian and her boyfriend or something like break into the city and mess it all up.
Did they bang?
So I don't think there was any banging in the whole. I don't think there was any banging in the book because I would probably remember that.
Not my
I
kind
would
of
have been
book.
pretty into that. But it was a very strange book. So do you remember the quest line from Skyrim where you pretend to be like the gourmet or whatever, and like,
Yes.
you cook for the king, and then you kill his wife or whatever, something. What was
Yeah.
it, like his daughter getting
It
married?
was for the Dark Brotherhood.
Yeah.
You assassinated
Which
somebody.
was not
So, like,
near as
most
good
of
in,
the Infernal
in
City
Skyrim.
took place in a
Cameron will have my
kitchen
back
on
on
this floating island. So like this girl, they tried to sneak into the city or whatever. They got abducted. They got turned into like kitchen slaves, and there was like a grouchy, like master chef Gordon Ramsay. I like, dude. Thinking about the Elder Scrolls edition of Gordon Ramsay is gonna give me fucking nightmares.
It should.
I just imagine him as like an angry Argonian.
So, I mean, I think we all really appreciate the Elder Scrolls, and it's definitely something that we could go on pretty hard about. I'm gonna bring it back though, because one of the I'm gonna take over, Cameron, unless you've got your third one right now.
Nope, I'm just gonna spitball out the energy
Okay.
sword from Halo. So much fun. but
That's
I
fine.
don't think that's in my top. It's up there.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll give you one. You let it settle. You think of one more good one because
Yeah,
Umbra was fire, and I'll go with. I'm actually gonna go with my favorite to start this off because I think that this gun is one of the most iconic guns that has ever been created in a video game.
It's a
I know
bold
what it
claim.
is.
That's a bold claim.
I know what he's gonna say. Can I try to guess?
Yeah.
The Lancer.
Yes, sir. The Lancer from Gears of War, the Gears of War trilogy. If you think of Gears of War,
It's not a
boys,
trilogy.
that is one of the first things that you think of when you think of that franchise.
Chainsaw.
That gun, yes, sir. They put a chainsaw on an automatic rifle, and not only was by design it was a cool gun, but it also was so satisfying to use. If you're like tracking, because a lot of Gears of War gameplay is, especially like at high elo, is crossing. So if you hit like an active reload and you cross someone on the map, it is so satisfying to hit like multiple headshots and get that headshot multiplier with the fucking with the Lancer from Gears of War. And not only is the design and like the gameplay really good with the gun, but it's interesting because it kind of like, so this is one of my memories, and this is why another reason I regard this gun so much is I was afraid to use the chainsaw on that gun if my mom was in the room. Now hear me out.
Do you think
So,
she turned
like,
it off?
I legitimately thought she might get a little upset. Like, because, especially like when the first game when I was really young, because I would have the gore on because I'm not a pussy. And so you would chainsaw someone and it would just cut right through them and the blood would come on your screen and all this testosterone and guts would just fly everywhere. And I legitimately, like, I remember playing the campaign one time and I was chainsawing this locust. And my mom was in the room. I just turned off my Xbox real quick.
No, you can't see that.
What are you doing in here? I was watching porn. I was jerking off.
I feel that because my mom.
Go ahead, sir.
My mom refused to buy me Destroy All Humans because she thought it would be like inappropriate for me.
Of all games, Destroy All
Yeah,
humans.
I had GTA San Andreas for the fucking PlayStation. I was beating hookers asking for a game about aliens.
Wasn't that rated teen?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. I don't know why she got that in her head that one was so bad.
But anyways, boys, one of the reasons that I like that gun so much is just, it's basically what I've said. Gameplay wise, aesthetic wise, everything. Like the gun was just, it was top tier. It was fun to use, it was fun to look at, and it had great lore. It was actually made, so they actually used do you guys remember the spear Lancer gun that you could stab people with in Gears of War instead of the actual chainsaw? Do you remember that? Maybe not.
No.
Okay.
I feel it's like the Lancer 2.0.
It was actually the Lancer like 0.0. It was the first one. Right?
Okay, I feel like
so the reason that the scientists made that gun was to combat the locust hard skin, so that when you get up close and personal with them, because humans are more fleshy, and then there are the locusts which are more hardened. It was a way to combat it and just rev that sucker up and just.
I love the sound of it.
Oh, dude!
There's an engine in my gun.
The sound design, I mean, just everything about that gun was top tier. And that's why it is like, and to me, like, I think of other weapons, like, I think of a lot of really cool weapons, but like, it's not even close. Now, so that's my first one. Before I get to my second one, Zidane, I feel like you've got to have one by now.
Yeah, I got one.
It can be 1, 2, 3. You tell me whichever. Maybe start at your third.
I only got really one because I've been sitting here trying to think of another one, and this is the only. It's like stuck in my head. It's the only thought. It's iconic, and it's. Go ahead, try to guess.
I don't know why I keep wanting to guess, but I feel like you're gonna say. I could be way off. I might be way off.
Okay, go ahead.
Like you're gonna say Cloud's Buster Sword.
No.
Am I close?
I mean, yeah, sure.
Same universe or something?
No, definitely not same universe.
Okay, all right. I don't know why I thought that. It's getting cocky.
It's just showing my age, I guess, because it's been a part of my gaming memories since I can remember. And it's started on the Nintendo and it's been on every system since. Can you guess now?
I'm too taken. I don't know.
It's the Master Sword
Oh yeah.
from
Well,
Zelda.
okay, so I've really not played too many. Like I've played a lot of them, but I've never beaten a lot. I've only beaten Breath of the Wild, and like you guys said, it's kind of underwhelming in Breath of the Wild. 13 hearts and you got it. But go ahead.
Like, and I've played and beaten Legend of Zelda for Nintendo. I've done Link to the Past for Super Nintendo. I mean, I haven't played any of the Game Boy ones, but you know, whatever. Wind Waker. I mean, legitimately, like my fondest gaming memories are from that sword. And I was 12, maybe 10 when I finally really grasped Ocarina of Time. And that feeling when you were young Link. And I mean, you could run up to the Master Sword when it was in the Temple of Time, pull it out, but I always did it nice and slow and walked up to it like I was some badass. And I like
RP'd, man. RP's
yeah,
cool.
I RP'd, walked up to it, and like there was like a beam of light, so you'd walk through the light real slowly, and then you triggered the animation, and there was just nothing better.
It's very gray room, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, okay. I remember that. Ooh, that's a
So
solid.
one thing that I can say, Cameron, is that so like I feel like because Zidane in Link to the Past, you had to get the 3 shards, right? To get the Master Sword, you had to go to the mountain, the desert, and then the other place. And then didn't you also have to reunite the dwarven like swordsmiths? So like you would reunite them, and then my point in saying all this is that it was definitely like more of a like quest,
Mhm.
like in I don't know about Breath of the Wild because I haven't played that one, but it was like more. It seemed like more of a quest in Link to the Past.
Mhm.
And what was its role in Wind Waker?
You got in Wind Waker, the Hyrule had essentially sunk to the bottom of the ocean, and you did use it to fight Ganon again, but you're not Link. You're just some random kid who they did a ritual. It's like a rite of passage, and you dressed up as the hero of time.
Mm-hmm.
And then this kid gets sent on the quest because his sister gets kidnapped. And you learn about the history of Hyrule, and you eventually end up going below the ocean into the castle to get the to master sword, so you can eventually fight Old Man Ganon.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, no, I was like that. I mean, that's a really good one. That's an iconic one, and I think that's something that a lot of people would agree with you on.
Like I eventually want to get like a replica and like the Hylian shield, excuse me, and like I want that on my wall because it's something I definitely want.
You need to do it. I've almost bought that before, and I'm not even a huge Legend of Zelda fan. I think that's just cool.
It just looks so good, man.
It's a nice, clean sword.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Like the aesthetic of the sword is really good too. Like it's not
Looks
even
like Umbra.
I mean, you're right in a way, but like it's not even like super. I would say the other thing about it is it's not super like some swords, especially in like like Eastern video games and stuff, are like crazy. But it's just a simple, like really well designed, good sword. So like that's a really good one.
But swords in games, like simple swords in some games that are designed with over the top swords, are so cool. Like in WoW, to get
Huge
like a
fan of
sword
over
that-
the top swords.
I am too, but sometimes I like to mix it up and just have like I'm a rogue. Here's my like 2 straight ninja looking daggers, like plain
Yeah.
simple. But then sometimes I want like here's a chain and it's glowing and hanging off the back.
There's
My
like
weapon's orange.
all the shit on it. Yeah.
Yeah, twists and spins.
For sure, for sure. I kind of want to bring it over to you, Stan, and then I'm gonna say my second favorite. What is one of your favorite weapons you would say in a video game, or something that you just really like?
So
Does
can
it
I
have to
go on a bit of a weird tangent?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys know I grew up out in the country, and we didn't have internet for online gaming and shit. So I had
Good
to
old
play
boy.
Country boy.
I had to play games offline a lot. One of my favorite games to play was Halo Combat Evolved for the PC. There was actually like a hugely active modding community for that. So I used to play that on my laptop, and I got into modding it. And one of the things that I thought was really fun to do was I would swap the projectiles for weapons around. And that reminds me of an Easter egg that was hidden in Halo 2 called the Scarab gun. So do you guys remember in Halo 2 there's that mission right after the
Oh shit!
right after New Mombasa or whatever, like you go across
Where you go to the city, right?
you go
And
across
then
the
the
bridge.
Scarab is like the final boss.
No, back it up. No, before that. So you go across the bridge on the tank.
Okay.
Same level.
You remember that mission? That mission where you're driving a tank across a bridge fighting like wraiths and ghosts and other vehicles.
Yeah.
I think you're
If you
talking
hide-
about. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So if you hijack one of the banshees on that level, you can fly up to like a hidden area. And it's like a bridge between two skyscrapers off in the distance or something silly like that. And it looks like a regular plasma rifle, but it fires the projectile that a scarab beam fires.
I feel like
And
I've
you
seen
could
YouTube
actually
video on
pick
this.
it up and fire it. So it was like a little plasma rifle that shot like the full size scarab like I-beam laser.
Hell yeah.
It's wild.
Cat.
Yeah, I just put it in general. Like that's what it is. That's actually really interesting, Stan, because I've never like done that glitch personally. So that's
So I've never done it
mod.
either. I've just heard of
Oh,
it.
is it a mod?
It's, like legendary. It's not a mod.
It's
Oh,
an
I thought you said it was something.
no,
No,
he's-
Oh, you said it was an
it's
Easter
an
egg.
Easter egg. Yeah.
Yep.
Off in the distance. All right.
That's
I remember-
so cool.
I remember watching stuff on Halo CE on YouTube like before I ever played computer games,
There was
and
this
they
one-
flew like this black stealth bomber ship thing that was in the game.
Yes. So what
gun
that
from
is?
Halo
That's the
CE.
that's
Yeah.
the long sword model from the campaign.
Yes.
So you remember at the end of Halo Combat Evolved, you drive down like the superstructure of the Pillar of Autumn, and you take off in that ship at the end. That's what they were flying. Is that model?
Yep.
And because I remember there was one like famous map for Halo Combat Evolved Custom Edition, which was like a
It was
version
the
of the
end
game
of
that
the level. Like the end of the last level. It's that area like below so there's like the Pillar of Autumn, I think, which is the ship at the end, and then that area, that flat area below, that was a map. Is that what you're talking about? Because that's where they would fly.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. It was a map
correct.
called it was a modded map for sure. And there was like there was a crashed Pillar of Autumn, and you could go to the like the hangar of that, and there were like fighter jets, long swords, pelicans, all kinds of crazy stuff to drive. And there was also like on the other end of the map, there was a Covenant battle cruiser that you could actually go up the grav lift, and you can go into the control room, and it looked just like the control room from Combat Evolved. No, you couldn't drive either of the large ships, but you could drive like a Seraph, which was like, do you remember Halo 2, the mission, the Heretic, where you go kill like the Heretic elite?
Where you kill Regret?
No, way earlier in the game, like the first mission as
the Arbiter. Yeah.
That elite that you kill, so in that like hangar or whatever, that weird UFO looking ship, you could fly those. You could drive a Scarab and shoot its laser beam. There was like a gigantic anti-air cannon. I really want to find out what the name of that map was because it was so cool.
Yeah, it was a cool map, guys, because it's just like it's like a flat ground, so it was perfect for that vehicle, the first one that Stan was bringing up. I don't remember like the exact name, but it's like the fighter jet that you leave that at the end of the game you're leaving on.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just a flat map, so you could just like bomb like the whole runway and stuff. It was super cool. What's funny, Cameron, is that Zurich actually, if you probably went to his YouTube like channel, if unless he still has, I mean, he would have that.
Yeah.
He used to do. He had like a video of that, which was
So
which is-
weird that we talked to that dude recently.
I know that was that was funny. That was definitely a blast from the past, huh? When you talk to old friends in games.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's weird.
Quick
So-
side, that map was called Extinction. I'll link it in the general.
What was that, Zaydeen?
Nothing. I was just gonna say. I was gonna ask you what you're next.
Mine?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was about to curtail to that. I just wanted to make sure we were all ready. My second weapon. I'm gonna let you guess again, Cam, because you're kind of on fire. I'll give you a hint. It's in WoW.
I'll be
The
right back.
glaives.
Ooh, kind of close. Kind of close. So my
And a frag.
again kind of close, but less
Thunder
so.
Fury. Sorry, I'm done. I'm done. I guess.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. I think we're doing really good right now. But it's Frostmourne. So
Oh,
very,
Frostmourne.
very simple. You know, Warcraft 3.
But can you have that?
No, but I don't. In this list, there weren't a lot of rules. So like, if you
Right.
didn't, if you can have it, like the Lancer, sure, you can pick that up. I mean, you get it at the beginning of every game. But my interpretation of this was, even weapons that we can't have, so, stuff that is just maybe lore wise or something that we really enjoy. That's like the reason that we pick it. And there's two big reasons. I'm gonna be quick with this, but like, there's two big reasons I like Frostmourne. The first is the aesthetic. I'm always a fan of like blades and stuff that look aesthetic. I'm kind of with you, Cameron. Like, where if it's a blade, the funkier the better. So if it looks more crazy, I mean, bring it on. And Frostmourne doesn't even look that bad. It's kind of jagged. I remember I watched this blacksmith on YouTube. You guys probably know who I'm talking about. And he recreated Frostmourne.
That's
Dude.
awesome.
Yes, sir.
Frostmourne's so huge and heavy.
I mean, yeah, he probably couldn't like the dimensions and everything, but at least the aesthetic, he made it the same. So aesthetically, Frostmourne is like probably my favorite sword ever. It's just big, kind of skinny two-hander, but it's the power within it is inconceivable. And that's the second reason I like the gun so much, or the sword so much, is it's the lore behind it. I really like Warcraft 3 and up to like, I would say Wrath of the Lich King, like World of Warcraft lore in general. That was really good, really fun. I would like spend hours reading like the novels or like the wiki for like online just to know more about this stuff. And the lore behind Frostmourne and Arthas and that whole story, that whole arc is just so good. And that is like the main reason I like the gun. Why do I keep saying the gun? But that's the main reason I like the sword, is because of the lore behind it. It's super interesting. It's arguably one of the most powerful artifacts within that universe, and it's just aesthetically pleasing as the cherry on top of all that.
So, talking best swords, even though it's not video game, Dragon Slayer from Berserk, massive sword.
I mean,
Cool.
technically there was that cursed Berserk video game.
I guess there are Berserk video games, but they're not.
That was
fun
not a
games.
good game.
None
That's
of them
why I
are
called
good.
it cursed.
Yeah. But I mean, then again, okay, so that just takes you to Dark Souls. So whatever, like the Ultra
Dark
Great
Souls has
Sword,
some really good weapons.
like there is a replica in like every single one of them that looks like Dragon Slayer. So that sword throughout the Dark Souls series is so much fun.
Where is it in Dark Souls 1? Do I have it?
No, you have to go buy. You buy it from a vendor that you went past. It's badass. I can lead you there. You can use it for the DLC.
Hell yeah.
He'll be
Yes,
your-
sir.
And then like in 3, you can basically just look like Guts. So I find a hard time not just playing the game as Guts, because Dark Souls is just Berserk the video game, but you don't get to be Guts.
Yeah, that's a. I mean, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, so if anybody else has another one, I thought of another like
Nope.
actual video game.
I only got one Master Sword. It's the
Okay.
only one you need.
I'll curtail it to Stan real quick. Stan, do you have like another weapon that you really like? Anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out like I was looking up stuff
Sure.
related to it. But I have never fallen in love with a gun in a video game as much as I fell in love with the G3A3 and Insurgency Sandstorm.
Weird.
That's very specific.
I know.
Yep, that works.
Did you
That does it. I like that gun a
I
lot.
don't even know what that game is. What is that?
Jack
I used to play with Jack.
I had to come back, dude. Hold on.
What?
What is that game?
That's
play with Jack.
crazy.
What system is that for?
And the
PC?
Xbox.
Please,
I
no.
played
Well,
it
no,
on
it was-
PC with Jack.
I played it on the Xbox.
Well, Insurgency is like a, I don't know, like a knockoff Call of Duty or something.
That's crazy.
No, it's like a super hardcore.
Oh, I was thinking of a
military
different game. I know what you're talking about now. My bad.
Sandstorm was like a weird. So Jack and I always played the
Jack.
like the
That's great, Sam. I love that.
like the PVE. And so Jack's a huge gun guy, so he was always talking about guns. So I was kind of like, I would play the game with him, and he would talk about the guns in it, and I was just kind of trying things out, and I picked a random gun called G3, and I'm like, wow, man, I really like this gun. And he started telling me all these cool facts about it. So like, the HK, the Heckler Koch G3A3 is like the original model, but there are like multiple different like manufacturers that make the same thing now. So Jack told me that if I really like the G3, I should get like, it's some reproduction model by Set Me. I was trying to figure out what that was, but I don't know what it is. I think it's a really cool rifle. I really like, so honestly, I think like my favorite kind of weapon of like all time, just kind of in general, would probably be like a badass semi-automatic rifle. So like I really like the G3, and especially I put a silencer on it. That thing sounded like a fucking nail gun in that game. It was rad.
Is it
I
like
was
a-
going around dinking people. Like,
Is it a regular rifle or is it a bullpup?
it is a regular rifle. I'm trying to find. I'll look up the original one. Okay.
Interesting. That's extremely specific.
Extremely niche, and that's what I appreciated about it the most. I really like that, Sam, because all of us have said like, I mean, I started off with Gears of War, which is one of the most like iconic Xbox series, right? So the fact that you pick something so niche, I like that. Now I'm trying to think of something kind of niche.
I won't
So
I won't be able to do that.
Look at that thing. And like, so we were talking about like real life guns earlier, and I said I really like the look of like a straight tactical mag. Like,
On a
give me
bolt
that,
action.
don't give me that banana wiener nonsense. Just give me a straight. Yeah, that's
So
a
I thought
nice.
I thought of another one I wanted to talk about, but I mean it's almost niche. I don't know how many of you guys have played the Fire Emblem games,
Nope.
but
Nope.
like they're so fun. But the first, like the American Fire Emblem games, I know there's a lot more out there, but like the ones on the Game Boy, the first one, so good, Game Boy Advance.
Oh, I was gonna ask if you played the ones. Sorry, go ahead.
So playing through, like there's always like there's 3 different like stories you play, and then eventually I think in the 3rd story everybody, like the 3 main characters are all together. They're all like these lords, and one use like katanas, one use like rapiers, and then another use like axes. So it was just always like a hit. Because you guys know what the combat's like in Fire Emblem?
Nope.
It's, I don't even know what kind of game it is. It's like a turn-based action RPG. Like you just tell them to attack, it gives you like the stats on how, if you can hit them, like the percentage of
like-
hitting them, how much damage it's going to
Like,
do. And
So
then
is it
how
like a
many hits.
tactical? Can they move around the map?
Yeah, and you only get so many steps per what type of unit it is. It's like Advanced Wars if you ever played that, but
Okay, yeah.
built like medieval. So you just
Wait.
like, so it's just
I'm
like a
sorry.
very simple hit, like with their regular weapons. But then in the very end, like you would get like, the lords could get special weapons. And I don't remember how you unlocked them. I don't think you just got them. I think there was a little bit more to it. But they just changed up how the game looked like entirely. So before you were like jumping in, oh, I'm gonna hit with a katana. Now she like does a dash attack. There's like mist that pops up, and then she like lands on them and like hits them. And you're like, nobody else did anything like this. There was never any sort of animation in the first 80% of the game that looked like this. The guy who would like jump and hit him with his axe now had this massive thing that he would like pull off his shoulder, slam on the ground, and then like leap and just drop it. Like it just changed everything
Is
of how
that
it
why
looked.
you liked it so much? Because it
Yeah.
added like that kind of a show of like how he like, and then it flops, and
Exactly.
then he's like, yeah,
I don't really admit it did for the other guy. I don't think it was too cool. I think he had like a horse. He somehow got a horse with his. It was weird.
What?
But yeah, it just it changed so much because the only time you ever saw any crazy cool animations was just when they did a critical, and none of them were ever that cool. Like my favorite critical was this, like the thief class would have 2 daggers, assassin class is what it was, and like he'd be standing there, and if you didn't get the crit, so you'd see your crit chances for, oh, I got 10% chance, it might happen, whatever. He'd just like jump over and like hit and then jump back. But if you sat there and you watched him and he flips his daggers, you're like, oh shit, you're gonna get to see something cool. So he flips his daggers and there's like a couple different animations of him like coming down because it's 2D graphics, like side, 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 and then they just massive damage. But when you see that little tell that it's the critical hit coming, it's the coolest thing.
you got excited, right?
Exactly.
You got excited because he started to flip it. Yeah.
And every class, because there's a shitload of different classes, would have their own little tell. But like now, their main weapons that those lords were using was like, oh, you're just every hit's going to be an interesting looking hit. And then I don't recall, it's been a long time since I played, but I'm sure that the crit, even on those crazy weapons, would have been even more badass. I wish I could remember what they were like, but it was like every time it was a crit animation. Super cool.
Yeah, no, and I like how you brought up how like you got kind of excited because you'd see this new animation or they added new animations and then it would like add right like flip or like I don't think this one was the same, but like how the axe would like fall and then he'd swing with it, like how cool that is. Like that's definitely something that could add to a weapon.
Flair.
Exactly.
You need the flair.
One thing real quick I wanted to ask you, Cameron, have you and then, like I said, just real quick on this, have you played the 3 houses? Because I've heard from a lot of Fire Emblem fans, I'm not one of them, but I've heard that people really liked that game. Like it's like really good.
That's for the Switch, right?
Yes. Yeah. It's like the newer one. Correct.
Okay, I think I might have seen something on it. It's similar to Fire Emblem gameplay, right?
Yes. I thought it was more turn-based, like less tactical, because that's what I think I saw from that. But again, I could be wrong because I'm not like the most well-versed in this genre.
I have no idea what the genre is. Let me Fire Emblem.
While you look that up, we can come back to it. I do have one more weapon than I thought of.
Okay.
And this one is pretty damn iconic, boys. You could probably even say it's more iconic than the Lancer that I brought up earlier.
I thought you were going to say Master Sword. I was like, no, it's not.
Yeah,
That's true. That is probably like top tier as far as iconic goes. But this one is pretty dang close. And I've had like I don't even play this franchise anymore. I don't like it, to be honest with you. We kind of talked about it the other day, but I definitely appreciate this weapon, and it's the Hidden Blades, man. In Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
The Hidden Blades, the first weapon that you get, that is such an iconic thing, dude. Like that is part of what made that whole franchise.
Yeah.
You can at me on that. Like that is 100% like why like that game was so successful, because you could just walk up and just boom, kill 2 guys and then just keep running, right? It was such a cool stealthy weapon that I don't think I had never seen it before in a video game, and I cannot think of a game that has something similar.
I mean, I don't think you could do something similar because I feel it's such a niche thing.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm saying. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe Valhalla will be cool. Maybe it won't. Probably not. It'll probably be a monetization fest. But
yes, it will.
But what they did originally with those weapons, that was such a cool concept. I mean, whoever thought of that definitely deserves a raise.
Yeah, you were like, I remember the first one, you'd be chasing your target through the streets, you'd catch up to him, the prompt would cut him up, so you would jump on him, and it's like slow motion, and you're like, you just stab him in the back of the head. Yes.
Super cool, right?
Yes, it was so cool.
Sir. So, yeah, so that is, I mean, that's kind of like our favorite weapons. I think we kind of picked quite a few really interesting ones.
Yeah.
The
Why do you want
G3.
them to make the game alone?
G3. I'm looking at like variants of the G3 on my second monitor. I really want to buy one
Stan
now.
got his first gun. He wants another one now.
I want many guns.
He wants
gotta-
all the
you gotta
guns.
Scratch that itch, now.
Dude, so Sentry Arms is one of the like other like variants of the G3, and I think they look so cool. Oh my gosh.
Right. So, are we good?
Can this be a gun podcast?
I'm good.
No,
No, I don't know enough about guns.
I was saying
Neither do
I'm
I.
good, but I'm
I-
not
I
good on
like,
us
like,
being a
3.
gun podcast. I feel like I'm the most knowledgeable about guns, and that's sad.
Yep.
Oof,
Oof.
big oof.
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 Well, Foz asked me something that I am knowledgeable about.
So we're all good, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna-
Good.
Well,
All right. So one of the last things that I wanted to bring up today is basically MMOs. And the reason I wanted to talk about MMOs is because they're Dave. You'll have your time. You'll have your time, sir.
Okay.
The reason I want to bring it up is because kind of like with BRs, there's been a lot of things happening within like MMOs lately. I know BDO just released like kind of like that new character. There is obviously AQ just released in Classic WoW. Shadowlands is right around the corner.
I got him
all
down. I got him
All
down.
this fun stuff, Zidane, that's happening. And so I just wanted to kind of touch on this and go over, kind of the same things that we've gone over like this entire time. And since he's raspberrying over there, my friend Zidane would go first. So please, sir, you have the floor. Say whatever you want. No.
Yes.
I'm kidding. I've played WoW. I've played BDO. I've played. I know there's a couple more that I've played, but this goes back to the I think it was the first topic that we talked about. How I wanted, a game that I could buy, play, and then be done with. Like, WoW's a fucking job. Like,
You're right.
like I work during the day. I don't want to come home and work for my leisure. Like, that is not fun to me. I mean, I get it. I can see how it is to some people, and I'm not really sure what the fuck just happened there.
Foz dropped off.
Foz
We
died.
lost Foz. That's why.
Technical
Weird.
difficulties part 2.
Oh, he's back.
Sorry, he made me so mad I had to rage quit. No. I'm sorry. Please keep going.
I don't even
I'm sorry.
remember what was the last thing I said, guys.
Something about how you don't want to work for leisure.
Yeah, I don't want to come home from work and then you can use your cam back, Foz. I don't want to work for my leisure, and it's not fun.
I'm so sorry.
Some people really like the grind. I get that. Whatever you do, you. But I can play WoW for like 3 weeks, and then I'm good for a decade. Like, I'm good, man. I'll pass. So
I just gotta come back for a taste.
yeah, just a little bit, and then I'm like, I remember why I hate this game. I'm leaving.
Seriously, the level experience in WoW. So like, I never played any MMOs up until I played Classic WoW. Classic WoW was my first everything MMO wise. It was my first time playing WoW. It was first MMO in general. First like online RPG in general too.
It's a good one to start with, honestly.
It was pretty good. Shit, what was I saying? What did you say?
I said it was a good one to start with.
You were just saying
Before
how it was the first MMO that you had played. That's what you
No,
were
right
saying.
before that. I
Look at
forgot
that.
what Zidane said that I'm trying to respond to.
Grinding. I don't want it to be a job.
No. Oh yeah, the leveling experience.
Yeah.
So like, I only played through Classic WoW 1 to 60 once on a single character, and then I started leveling and all. And
What
I
was
was
your mage?
already nostalgic for the leveling experience, and like early Orgrimmar Baron's leveling experience. Like, I will remember that for the rest of my life.
No, do not do that, Zaidane, because he is 100% right. So what you're saying,
It
Stan,
sucks so much. I mean,
what you're saying is you have this overwhelming nostalgia for that first time you played the MMO, right? Experiencing all this new, like this world, this land, all these things. Like you were overwhelmed and you just felt like this is awesome, right? That's what you felt, right?
yeah.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you on that. That is one of the most Zidane, that is
Dude.
one of the most iconic things about an MMO is that
Yeah.
somebody starts playing it and they get sucked in, man. They get sucked into this world, this lore, these characters, this whole thing that has been created before them. And that is why they come back years later, even though like at that point they don't even like the game anymore. But
Yeah.
because of that nostalgia factor, they end up coming back. And I think that that's something that happened with Classic WoW. But that is kind of my own opinion on that. I think Cameron might disagree with me.
Okay, well, I don't have any nostalgia for Classic WoW because I never played WoW.
But you have nostalgia for WoW, like me.
Yeah, for sure. But my WoW experience and talking about MMOs, the MMOs I play were RuneScape when I was a kid, which again they did the same thing that Classic WoW did, but they did it first. They released old school RuneScape, so now I occasionally dabble in some old school RuneScape. I got 99 in cooking. Um,
Gotta cook them
So-
lobbies.
sharks and
Like
so
90,000 sharks. Sorry, go ahead.
So then I mean I'd say I play more seriously a lot more WoW, but I played in Lich King or very end of Burning Crusade, start of Lich King. Like I played it, got into it, raided and loved it, and then after that I just thought it was never as much fun. I couldn't get into the raid scene. Like I did some raiding, but I wasn't into it at all. But I'd always go back and run the old dungeons, the old raids, like max level and just shit on everything. And I was like, and 40 man raids didn't exist and still don't, I don't think, in retail.
No.
So I was like, I want to run a dungeon. I want to run a raid where I have to coordinate with 40 people. And that's why I don't think it's like a job. That's why I'm okay to sit here on Tuesday nights from 8 to 11 to raid, because I understand it takes 40 people's worth of coordination committed to it to do it. I don't like the extra grind that they require to have all your consumables during the raid.
I
Like-
mean, you guys literally just killed Twin Imps and Cthulhu. Like that's huge. That's so
Yeah.
cool. Like I watched you do it, man, and I could not agree more with you. That was so awesome. But like, I mean,
But I like the loot, so I
Stan
want to keep doing
Stan
it.
and Zidane are kind of pointing right now. Like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna defend this hard, but like, you guys are pointing like, oh yeah, you have to grind. Well, guess what, guys? That's like kind of the name of the game with any MMO, especially one like Classic WoW that is more old school. Like that's kind of what you're signing up for. I don't play it. I don't play Classic WoW like right now because I'm not like signing up for that. I don't subscribe to it, but I still respect that. That's kind of how it is. And I understand, Zidane. You're gonna say, well, that's why it's a job. You know, it feels like a job. It makes me
Yes.
feel like a job. And
Yes.
I 100% agree with you. But I think people enjoy like the gameplay in that aspect. Like Cameron just said, he's like, you know what? I like coordinating with 39 other people. I like that we can work together and defeat this
Yeah.
boss. I don't care if I have to grind gold and all this. Like I
I like
get
my
that and I
role,
respect
too.
it.
I think it's very unique. Not many games. I mean, it's not unique, but I don't have very many
Tell-
opportunities
tell-
in games to go heal.
Kind of explain, what you do.
I
We click
heal.
boxes.
Yeah, well, yeah. Ultimately, I click boxes, but
He manages frames.
yeah. But I mean, I'm there to keep the people who are attacking the monster alive. I have to keep their health bars up. Granted, there's 9 other ones of me doing
Hey, but
that.
you're
but that's-
usually at top, boy.
Yeah,
I
he
am.
is
I
normally
like
a
it.
top healer by
And-
like 2% of all healing for the whole raid.
and I think that's so cool. It's totally different. Like I don't have to like yeah, I click on boxes. Like I'm not looking at the boss. I mean, sometimes I'll sit there and be like, "Oh yeah, if there's not a mechanic I need to worry about, like I'm not melee DPS, I'm not in there up in front. I'm just going to just sit back and heal and just watch the boxes move back up and make sure they're not dying, and I got to pay attention to the tank boxes at the top cuz they're the important people." And I like my class heals like high damage single target. So like I typically am healing like the tanks, which is cool. So I'm not worrying about all these little people running around. I'm worrying about like the main dudes. Like I gotta keep the guy who's able to handle the damage from the bosses. I gotta keep him alive. I just think that's really cool, rather than everybody. But it's
That
still
is
fun to do everybody.
And
I'm just not
Stan, why don't
specialized in that.
Stan? Why don't you explain like what you do?
So I'm also a healer, but so Cam is a priest healer. I'm a shaman healer. My focus is mainly AoE healing. And Cameron outperforms me like every single raid. I'm honestly like I'm definitely not one of our best healers. I'm one of our like mediocreist healers, but so I cast like it's kind of an AoE healing effect. It chains from one player to the next up to like 3 or 4. I don't know exactly. So I focus more on the raid. So like while Cam is healing like the tank who's taking like the actual brunt of the damage from the boss, I'm taking the guys who are like behind the boss melee damaging it, who are taking damage from like AoE effects or ads or like whatever nonsense happens. Boss fight.
Cleaves.
Cleaves.
Don't heal the people who stand in shit.
Don't heal
They just
people.
die.
Fucking life tap. Do not fucking life tap.
But
No, I gotta pad my numbers. I heal those
Do
guys.
not.
I love how that. Oh, Cameron's okay with it. You're okay with
Oh,
those guys?
I hated it leveling up. Now as a
Leveling up, it was a big fuck. I mean, in a raid,
Yeah.
it's no big deal because you're bringing like fucking 100 gold worth of mana pots anyway.
well, and you got 120 things of water, so it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to pad my numbers a little bit. I can just click one button, and that dude's gonna get healing for 12 seconds, every 3 seconds. Like,
So
why would
don't
I not just boop, and then just keep healing my tank?
I don't think we explained the clicking boxes thing. So if for anybody listening,
Great.
there's an add-on for classic WoW called HealBot. So it there's like a configurable display on our screen where it shows like a box for every member of our raid, and like the box is their health bar, and we can configure like different kinds of clicks on them to cast different healing spells on them. So I have like low rank chain heal, high rank chain heal, low rank single target heal, high rank single target heal, like etc.
It's some nerdy shit.
So yeah, and but the thing is, like I said, even though I don't subscribe to it right now, I mean, I have WoW. I'm really excited for Shadowlands, to be honest. I think
Yeah.
I'm hoping that it'll be a really good expansion. BFA was like a really big disaster, and I don't want to get into that too much right now because that's something that we could like kind of handle for another time, probably with a Blizzard talk or something like that. But one of the main things I wanted to say to like you, Zidane, and it's what Stan said, because I 100% like what he said, and you haven't spoken on this too much, Cameron, but I think you might be the same way. One of the best things about an MMO is that overwhelming nostalgia, dude. The game is magical. It's literally magical the first time you play it.
I agree. It is.
And like that is what that is what people, that's what they enjoy. I'm sorry, what'd you say, Stan?
I said, especially if you have people walk you through it. So like my WoW experience was definitely made like 100 times better by the fact that I had Cameron there from day one, like walking me through just like
Aw.
questing system in general. Like, and I remember Cameron had us all so hyped about fucking World of Warcraft Classic, and I swear
Oh, he was the hype man, boy. He was.
He
He was.
I've been playing it for
Swear
a
I
year.
did.
I can't believe it.
But
Yeah.
like we were all there fucking day one of Classic, like 2-hour queue time, waiting
so
at
fun.
literally a
Work
line,
night,
like
work
100
night.
actual characters just waiting for a quest ad to respawn in like a cave in like the beginning area of Orgrimmar.
Yep.
Or not
Remember we all
Orgrimmar,
grouped
but
up, and I had
whatever.
Cameron bring his undead rogue over because he could
I can
melee
hit
faster.
fastest.
He could hit faster than the rest, so we had to get him over there so he could kill this mob for us. Like, see that kind of stuff, like exactly what you're saying, Stan. That interaction in an MMO, it's so precious. It's so like, to me, it's one of the most important parts of an MMO. It's
See-
what makes MMOs so valued by so many people. And I think you're kind of nodding your head, Zidane, because like even you kind of see that.
I do.
And
Yes.
like it's and there are people who play it competitively, there are people who play it like seriously. You could even say Stan and Cameron Like they play it
Yeah,
competitively
yeah,
right now.
we're sweat.
They raid. Yeah, they sweat their
We're like top
their
5
little
horde.
asses off. They sweat their
Top
little
5 horde
asses
on
off
server.
on Grob every week. But it's also like such a great casual experience. Honestly, that's what and this might be where I differ from a lot of you guys, but like I definitely enjoy MMOs for the more casual experience of one. Especially a WoW, because like I said, the lore and everything is so special to me. I almost play it like a boomer. Like just to just playing it kind of to just have fun rather than get too sweaty in it. Like explore the classes, the world, things like that. Like when I got the opportunity to go back and like explore classic WoW, like the vanilla experience and everything, I was excited for that. Because even though I saw those quests in Wrath of the Lich King, I was never able to like get like the full like 1 to 60 experience, like what classic WoW provided for me. So that was definitely special. And I just think that honestly, in my opinion, it's one of my favorite genres. Like probably like, RPGs, refined FPSs, and MMOs. Those are probably like my favorite genres. So like MMO is really high on my list. And I think everyone should find an MMO they really like and really stick with it. And it might not be like WoW. Like a lot of people prefer like Eastern MMOs. How do any of you guys have experience in Eastern MMOs?
You want to talk about grindy? Holy shit! Like,
yes, sir.
I put a little bit of time into BDO, and I was like, obviously, I don't like grinding, but that's what an MMO is. I understand that, and I was like, I can't do it. I'm done. Goodbye. And I haven't touched it since release.
Zidane, the thing about BDO is it's a tough one. Any Eastern MMO, like you just said, it is super duper grindy, right? Like it's really bad.
They
to
like
the
it
point
though,
that-
so whatever.
To the point that like in BDO, you just go to a zone and you grind mobs for like 8 hours. Like that's what you do. You literally just go out there and you kill shit for 8 hours, and that's the gameplay. The thing about BDO, and the reason I think it's so successful, is because the combat is really good. Like I played a Guardian. I kind of told you this, Zidane,
Yep.
like, a little bit ago, but I feel, and Cameron, you would appreciate this. Like the Guardian feels so fucking heavy, dude.
Yeah, you told me
Like,
about it.
Did I? Okay. Okay. I already told you this. But
Dude,
I'll say it again.
guts.
Yeah. Well, no, that's the warrior. And the warrior
Oh.
actually has an armor. So actually BDO did an armor thing for guts. You can get the guts armor in BDO. Not anymore, but you could.
Shucks.
I know, right? But anyways, I played the Guardian, which was like this tanky type character, and she has like an axe, and like she just feels so heavy. Like the combat in BDO, I think, is why a lot of people really appreciate the game.
I agree.
And the world. Kind of goes back to what we said about WoW. Like Stan said, WoW is so magical, classic WoW, and I agree. And it's kind of the same thing with BDO. The other thing I really like about BDO is the character customization. And I kind of wanted to ask you guys' opinion on this, but like, how important is character customization to you in a video game? Because to me, it's really important. I really like to have like all the options laid before me and how to customize my character. Now the WoW Classic fans here might disagree because you've only got like, you don't have a lot, but like that's always something that I've really appreciated. I'm glad in Shadowlands are kind of bringing that into WoW, and that's part of the reason I liked BDO so much is because, and ArcAge is because you could have so much customization for your character. Like the possibilities were literally almost endless.
It's called Fashion Souls for a reason.
Yeah.
You gotta
Hell
look good,
yeah.
man. You gotta look good.
You got to look cute if you're gonna go out there and fight some baddies.
Right.
No, I didn't stole the words from my mouth. Like, you gotta look like a badass. That's it just makes the game better. Like the katana
Cameron-
in Halo 3, having that
Oh, dude,
was
so good.
the coolest thing. Like, not everybody just had it. Like, it wasn't the hardest thing to get, but once
Dude,
you had it, it was just like, hell yeah.
What did you think was the hardest achievement? For me, it was the Spartan Laser.
I feel like I've talked about I'm good at video games tonight, but like there was one that you had to do something in Lone Wolves.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either, and that was the game mode that I used to get like my 47 or whatever I ended up getting. So I don't think I ever got a 50. So I had to like try that achievement, and then honestly, I don't even remember if I got it. I think they released a DLC, and it was bugged at the very beginning, so that like it should have been all gamer score, 1,000 points, but like once they released that, you could get 1,250. I got 1,000 points and it gave it to me, but they eventually fixed it that you had to get the 1,250 then, or the original 1,000.
Wait, so it was bugged for you?
Bugged in my advantage that I ended up getting it without having to get that achievement I was stuck on.
Oh, so you got over 1K and then they gave it to you, right? Because that's all the game was looking at. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and then I think they patched that and fixed it later, but I never.
Oh,
I think I
shit,
inevitably
okay.
did get that achievement, which I wish I knew what
Right.
it was. But before then, I don't know, it's badass. I mean, then the next thing would be like if you could get recon armor, like whatever. That's not happening.
So I remember that the hardest achievement for me to complete was the double kill. By the way, we're talking about like the katana cosmetic in Halo 3. It was a chest piece that you'd have a katana on your back. You could fulfill all your weeb dreams. And
that was before weebs were a thing. They don't have the name weeb yet.
I was gonna say weebs have always been a thing. They just didn't have a name.
But well, that's what I was gonna say, Zidane. Weeb is a state of mind. So you could get a katana on your back. You had to complete 1,000 all the achievements in Halo 3. And for me, the hardest one was getting a double kill with the Spartan Laser. I remember I got it on Snowbound because in Snowbound there's the drop for that, and I went down below to the bottom of the map and I lined up 2 people perfectly and I got it and I freaked the fuck out. And you know, one thing that kind of comes back to something that I wanted to talk with you guys about when we were talking about freemium and paid and like monetization, stuff like that, is nowadays, and this is especially true in MMOs, like this really relates to kind of like everything we've talked about tonight, is that like back in the day when you saw somebody and they were a badass or they had something really cool,
You knew it.
right?
You knew they were a
it.
badass.
Yeah, and they actually earned it, right? You could tell, like, bro, that guy right there, he rang the gong in AQ40, right? Like that guy did that.
Mount.
Yeah, he did that. Nowadays, and it's like, oh, that guy spent $500 on his mom's credit card.
Yeah. It's like Valorant.
Right?
Those skins were so crazy
Oh
on those
my.
guns, the prices.
Yeah, what was that? Like the $80 skin kit or something?
What?
I think it was almost like
100.
yeah for the
Yeah.
kids.
And
then
then
like a
they were
dagger could be
10
like
or
40
20
bucks.
bucks a game, or a weapon, like
No.
$10 or $20 a weapon skin.
How many skins did you get for $100?
$20. Like
You got one
$40.
for each gun, but that's like what, 12 skins?
but I don't think it was even all the guns. I think it was
Really?
just some guns. Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
like because they wouldn't have a skin for the miscellaneous stuff. Like it was only like the more popular guns.
Honestly, Valorant feels irrelevant already.
It is.
I've been thinking I
is.
want to go play it. I had a lot of fun with
It
it.
is irrelevant.
Why, Cameron? Why?
Go pop off. What? It was so much. It's back to the car. It's those satisfying one-shot headshots with that AK variant thing.
I mean, the gunplay was really fun. I liked it.
No, I disagree.
It was different.
I don't like CS:GO.
I never
It
played
was
CS:GO
weird.
much.
It was like there was just a really weird, unusual.
It was like
we
CS:GO
had
1.6
the
with
fucking-
abilities, boys. Like
I
the
get
funniest
that.
thing about that game for me was playing Omen. Like teleporting was the funnest part for me. Everything else was dog shit. Like if Omen wasn't in that game, I probably wouldn't have played it with you guys as much as I did, to be honest with you.
I'm glad I didn't play it.
I had this one really cool play as Jet. Because like one of her things is she can hop up in the air, and I don't know what other character has the like ultimate where they deploy like a huge smoke screen that
I know
covers
who you're talking about.
like a large area. I was like the last one alive on my team. It was 1v1, so we were both the last alive on our teams, and we were on like B site on whatever that one map is, where B has like what map has the hookah bar?
Yeah, no idea.
Well, I mean, you know what I'm talking about, the one with the hookah bar.
It's high up. You're high up.
Yeah, so we're down from the hookah bar in those like storage crates, and she pops a smoke or whatever. So I use my thing to like jump up in the air, go over because I kind of know where the crates are, get behind her because she can't see me through the thing either, and shoot her from behind. Fucked her up. Guys in the chat said play the game. It was the best thing in my life.
And everyone clapped.
Hey Sue.
Everyone clap.
The whole classroom clapped.
I know what that fucking means, Karen.
But I mean, yeah, like my point is that kind of to go back to it is that like it feels like back then like people earn shit and now it's just people spend money on stuff and that kind of takes away from like that definitely takes away from me wanting to play a game because like in ESO and I played a little ESO lately, which is another MMO I played, but like
Not verify. We need to say what these things are because you kept saying BDO and I could not pick up on it. It's Black Desert
Sorry.
Online, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
It's
You
Black
should have said
Desert,
something.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Didn't wanna-
No,
Time to
yeah,
say it.
you should have said something, but you're right. I should be more clear. So, like, ESO this is probably more commonly known to people, but it's Elder Scrolls Online, which is like, I actually think Elder Scrolls Online is a really good, this sounds silly, but single player experience if you're playing an MMO. Totally counterintuitive, I know, but the quest lines and the stories and the environments are really good in that game. So like I could definitely like that's what drew me to it the most. But anyways, my point is that if you see someone who looks cool, like I literally like kind of took a day, like not a day, but I sat in the main hub, right? And I looked around and I looked at people who looked really cool or really interesting. And I looked up like how can you obtain what they have, right? And probably like 80% it was like I just bought this thing. I just bought this thing. Yeah, no, really. Whereas that's one thing I really like about classic WoW is that's not the case.
You
like
gotta
you
earn it.
Yeah, no, you earn that, dude. And it goes back to it's something I brought up towards the very beginning that we dropped because we'd spend too much time talking about it, or definitely Cameron would. But in RuneScape, there are people who have a higher experience cap than everyone else in the game. I think that's really cool. I think those people should have their place, and I think that that kind of mindset in games is kind of gone because of monetization. And I didn't mean to bring it back to monetization, but I do believe that's like a thing.
Take down monetization.
Agreed. It's never gonna happen though.
No, you're right. I completely agree. But it kind of deflates my drive to play some games. Like after I saw that in ESO, I felt less inclined to play the game because I'm like, well, okay. So basically, if I play this game, the only way I can be cool and interesting is if I spend money. I cannot earn it. So therefore, why the fuck am I playing this game, right? So I don't know, dude. I probably sound like a boomer right now. Whatever.
I agree with you though.
I do, Stan.
Yeah, you're a boomer.
Yep.
I'm a boomer.
No, you're not.
Not what the heck.
Get out of here, Genji.
So are we good?
We're good.
I'm good.
Very good.
Solid.
Very nice.
So I think where are you guys at? Are you pretty tired?
I think we wrap it
I'm
there.
good.
I mean, it's been
Yeah. I think we wrap.
2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I thought 2 hours of film or 2
Maybe
hours
we
of
should.
content.
Yeah.
That's what we
I
aim
think
for.
Maybe we should do it a little earlier sometime. But that's something else. So
2
yeah,
hours
we'll
content.
call it there.
And that wait,
Thank you,
clip
thank you
this.
for watching
Yep.
8-Bit Opinions. Like I said, I'm Fosman, Stan, Cam.
Wrong way. There you
Yeah,
go.
I'd say
There you
That
go.
was our name.
There you go.
There we go.
it was
We
really
did
cool
we
it
did
worked out that way because we're not the same on my screen. But
Uh-oh.
that worked out well.
And yeah, this was 8-Bit Opinions. Again, just a fun gaming podcast that we do. And thank you for watching.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe.
No, don't do any of that.